And it ain't nothing you could tell us. You know what I'm saying? Especially these squares. You know what I'm saying? But check this out, man. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations, the Big U Indictment breakdown. And it's a lot of paperwork, man. So we wanted to start early. We got some other shit dropping down. We located Luce Cannon. Scandalous Los Angeles TV should be dropping that. We contacted the facility where I was there before anyway, so it was really easy for me to contact them and confirm where he was located, while everybody's speculating. Just doing the least bit of investigative work could separate you from the rest of the YouTubers. These dudes call themselves journalists. But what kind of journalistic investigative research are they doing? They get caught up in rumors. They're more like T-blogs on YouTube. You got niggas that's more like T-blogs on YouTube. These people are not journalists. You know what I'm saying? And even more than that, it's a sad situation. A lot of damning information was produced against Big U, against Vay, against Bear Claw. But you got to understand, in a grand jury hearing, you have the prosecutor, you got its evidence and its witnesses, and that's all the grand jury is hearing. Everything that they said is not being challenged. They don't have an attorney to represent them to distinguish what is true from fact, what is true from lies. You know what I'm saying? That's what trial is for, and that's why these are only allegations. Selena, salute to the team. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. Make sure you hit the like button as you enter. And don't forget to check out Section by Yael, featuring Joe Moses and Coyotes, streaming on all major platforms, including YouTube. Loke Dog, salute, Damu Kiwe Conversations. Yeah. The link is in the chat if you want to hear that. Sections by Yael. The bro is grinding. We're going to be dropping this Damu Kiwe Conversation compilation, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of music, dope features. We got a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? That kind of what else separates us from the rest of these niggas, so we can straight arm these niggas. You know what I'm saying? When these niggas try to compare to us, nigga, it's like the level of interviews of people that we deal with is beyond the shit these dudes do. You know what I'm saying? These dudes don't have those kind of connections to the streets, to the industry, nothing. These niggas are spectators. You got this other nigga ain't even from the land. He's a non-affiliate that ain't from Los Angeles, speaking on what's going on in Los Angeles. You just like everybody else, outsider looking in. Only difference is you've been sucking CS2 back soft, you know what I'm saying? Gargling his meat till he went soft. You know what I'm saying? And he gives you evidence from a federal prosecution. Wiretap, Title III Wiretap. A conversation between 3 informants. Confidential source 2 Back, Luce Cannon, and Dale the Long Tail Rat. And you got that and was able to publish that. You able to interview CS2 Back multiple times by phone on your platform. You're able to interview Luce Cannon on your platform and still insult our intelligence as if you're not working with them police ass niggas. See, we've been on Clubhouse for over 3 years. And I've watched CS2 Back come into, you know, he was trying to recruit me. I was the apple of his eyes. And I told the nigga I didn't fuck with niggas of his kind. I'm cool. I ain't on you. I ain't on no bullshit, but I don't want to do business with you. Dead homies. But I was able to watch how he took over Trolls Nation, ran his narratives, lying people up. I was able to watch how he took over Death to the Clout Chasers TV, took all of his moderators, took over the room, then trademarked the name. I was there when he took Street Runner from King Yo, as well as Street Runner King Yo Bitch, Armed Beef. See, you can't tell me that CS2 Back is going to call in and come to your platform without you allowing him to run his narratives and control the narrative. He's not going to allow you to hold him accountable. He deflects from that. He runs from that. All right. Rockstar, another room on Clubhouse. He did the same thing. And he did it with Jeezy Miyake's YouTube channel and a lot of others. You know what I'm saying? And then when he allowed them to put his content up, and when you got his voice on there so much time, right? When you got his voice on there so much time, audio, his intellectual property, and he's not tripping, he'll rescind the license he's allowed you if you don't go along with his narrative. You know what I'm saying? So when a nigga come out with that type of evidence from a federal investigation, a Title III federal wiretap that only CS2 Back, Luce Cannon, and Dale the Longtail Rat was on, that will be used in this investigation, and you're not from California, you either was on the phone with that nigga or he felt comfortable enough to allow you to run the narrative he wanted, and he allowed you to release it on your platform. He didn't give it to The Answer. He didn't give it to Death of the Clout Chaser TV. He didn't give it to Whackademics. He didn't give it to Adam 22. He didn't give it to Ray Give, Clubhouse Shenanigans, any of these dick-sucking ass platforms on YouTube that's a part of his YouTube team. He gave it to this weirdo. And this square-ass nigga think he could run game on us before our eyes like we don't know that he been working with CS2 Back. So now that we expose that, we'll let you stay in your little cubby hole. You've been attacking CS2 Back for 2 months. Now you want to report content. You sowing your fields. Talk about niggas hating on you. Because we call it the truth. Your daddy say the truth can never be considered disrespect. We've seen it. You's a fuck nigga working with him. We called it out. That's that. I'm a copyright strike his channel. Sound just like a CS2 Back move. So I took yesterday live down. You know what I'm saying? But more than that, let's get into the chat. As the people coming here, D Twins, Degante, Kid the Barber, what up? Shotgunner, told y'all Compton, snitch, rock a rat. That nigga refused to speak on CS2 Back, being in Big U paperwork, nasty work at Active Chucks, because he knows he will have, if he speak on it, he got to stand on it. And a lot of these niggas ain't standing on nothing. Just like that non-affiliate clown square YouTuber that constantly speaks on this nigga for the last 2.5 months. Before that, the nigga was doing about 100 views, if he was lucky, a video. You know what I'm saying? But Rock 215, man, early video. Yeah, man, we got a lot of work to get in. Sections is also on IG to tag in your post. Well, why don't, Steffi Weffy, why don't you make a video backing that ass up like Juvenile to Sections, right? And tag me in it. I'm going to repost that thing. You know what I'm saying? We gonna help Yael get this thing viral. We got some moves and connections that's going to assist in that also, but that definitely helped. He wouldn't answer the question, how you get audio of a three-way call if CS2 didn't give it to you. That means you was on the call with him. If he was on the call with 3 informants, knowing the work they doing, that kind of makes me suspicious that he's not a CS2 back minion, but a federale. Where'd he come from? Who is this guy? Why is he even concerned about what's going on in California? He a groupie, a fan, a stan of who? Big U? What? Who is he a stand to? Dudes, make sure y'all come in to this song. You know he got to do a grand entrance. Yeah, you know that's how he get out. Gregory Womack, Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Y'all do Sims in the chat. Salute. Make sure y'all hitting that like button on the way to y'all and the way in. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Our retention rate and our subscriber rate is immaculate. You know what I'm saying? The numbers is up everywhere we go. You know what I'm saying? All these whack 137 meat riders are going to look silly when it gets officially confirmed he's CS2 back. Bro, it's already officially confirmed. Now, it could be, what's it called? Reinforced when Big U call that nigga to the stand. You know what I'm saying? And we asked the right questions when we call Shaquille O'Neal to the stand, when we call Mark Stevens to the stand. That's that, and that's a fact. Wait, hold on. Tartan Mystic just sent us some super chat. Salute to Tartan Mystic, first and foremost. How you doing today, beautiful woman? Prayers to you and your family. I know that you take care of your parent, yet you always find a way to come support us, and we definitely appreciate it. Look what she say. Sorry, I can't stay for the live, but here's a wee token of appreciation for the graft you put in. Prayers. Hey, no, prayers to you and your family. And I think that's euros, nigga. Nigga, $5 euros. You know what I'm saying? We getting euro money, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Euro super chat. He in West Coast business running West Coast content to get subscribers. Because it ain't guy. He's a nobody. Where's he from? I know he's out of towner from like down at 2-1. Whatever. Damu and Kiwe Conversations is the realest for sure. Hit that button and stay active with them active chucks in the comment. Hey, listen, man. She said it's not a twerk song, dudes. Listen, I understand it's not a twerk song, but if we could get Steffi Weffy to twerk on that thing, it's still gonna become a twerk song. You know what I'm saying? All the other girls are gonna want to follow that lead, seeing them things. You know what I'm saying? All that ass. I'm convinced he the feds. Yeah, bro. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. We got to do some more research, but I don't know where the dude's from. I don't know nothing about the dude. I went on his page yesterday and seen he been on the CS2 back, for 2 months, maybe 2 months and a half, right? And before that, he was doing about 100 views a day. You know what I'm saying? I karate kicked that button on my way in. Salute, Drew V. Appreciate it, King. He talk about the no jumper situation every day to get people locked up. Sound very familiar to me. Where would his channel be without the West Coast? Oh, he a West Coast hater? Oh, it makes sense, man. So you ain't a West Coast congratulator. You're not memorized by the gang subculture. You a West Coast hater. Nasty work. Well, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into this paperwork, man. You know, and we got some videos coming. We're going to drop. Stand on the media. Salute to you, King. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you and your whole team. Salute to District 13. Y'all already know, man. Nothing but love. We send ours y'all way. You know what I'm saying? And let me pull up this paperwork. Hit that like button on y'all way in, man. You know. So, So here we go. Anyone will have to be a fool to call that phone. He's got people calling. Yeah, oh yeah, they really think he a rat now or police, not a rat, a police. They already know he got rat tendencies. That's something I still don't understand. Why East Coast people and West Coast people business like they ain't got no business. It'd be different if they was gonna stand on something. See, where we come from, if you speak on it, like they were saying, Rick Rock was scared to speak up on CS2 back. You gotta stand on it when you see that nigga. You know what I'm saying? You niggas want to speak and have a voice in something you never earned. You have to earn a voice where we come from. Nigga, you ain't even got a voice where you from. Weird ass nigga. Who is you? Where do you come from? Man, it's a whole lot of plants. Shout out to East Palo Alto Road. Salute to EPA. You know what I'm saying? They calling them CS2 back. We all know where that come from first. Damu Kiwe conversation. So they wanna hijack without all right, it done brought me back. I wasn't connected to my internet. Dude's trying to turn the live into a twerk session. Nah, I just know that that's gonna go viral. Send him your dental bill. Hey, listen, I got lifetime dental in California, right? Medical and dental for life. Came from a lawsuit I had. And when I go to California, I already got approved for $18,000 grant to fix my teeth. It's okay. Listen, I got my teeth. I ran into a pole in the 3rd grade. You know how many bitches I done fucked that probably millionaires and that millionaires is trying to fuck? I mean, a couple of them are millionaires and that millionaires is trying to fuck. It's a different level of macking, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Self-confidence. When you've been known like that since the 3rd grade to have issues with your teeth, you get bagged on a lot. You learn how to roast niggas back. And then you kind of accept that that's what it is, especially when you fight as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't what he's talking about the dental bill. Salute to that brother for want to contribute to my dental bill. You know what I'm saying? He sound like the type that lead with his wallet. I'm quite sure if he fucked the type of bras I fuck, he led with his wallet also. You know what I'm saying? The nigga ain't really got no game. Nigga, you talking about a nigga with gray hair walking around with 2 watches on, nigga. Nigga, ain't that much time in the world, my nigga. You got on 2 use a cornball, nigga. A weenie with bread. Nigga, this nigga trying to prove so. Hey, CCTV Media Network, salute to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Show your face. But now I just got me a new car, so I gotta go to California to go pick that up. I'll be out in California for a couple of days, go pick up this new Tesla joint, and I'll make sure that when y'all see me next time, my shit, when I come back from California, my shit is right. Since a man's all in another man's mouth, you know what I'm saying? That shit make a nigga uncomfortable. Why is another man staring all down another man's mouth? Yo, keep up the good work. I love this channel. Hey, Cinematic Contrast NYC. Salute to you, King. I have dental now, too. People don't realize when you get locked up, the dentist doesn't do anything except pull your teeth. No, it depends on where you at. In the feds, they do different shit, but you're right. A lot in jail, all they want to do is pull them. Somebody told me who your folks from my area is. All good, champ. That's the homegirl for sure. Which one? My sister Trina. She from Legend. Her husband. My nigga Cap One. Salute to them. Trina is my blood sister. Like same mom, different dads. You know what I'm saying? 4 years older. Then my cousin Lachelle. You know what I'm saying? My mother's mom moved from 37th and Normandy to 820 South Osage, my nigga. My cousin Lil Durrell and them lived on Myrtle. You know what I'm saying? Flower. You know what I'm saying? I'm very familiar with that whole area. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Hey, let's get to this content. Got enough people in here. Hit that like button on y'all way in. So, the indictment, grand jury, October 2024. This is how long the grand jury indictment's been going. Coincidentally, CS2 back said that he talked to Longtail Dale the Rat in October 2024. He had him on the phone. Him and Luce Cannon. The same month that the grand jury started, these dudes reconnect. And he tells him that he's working. This is some nasty work, bro. So the investigation starts in 2021 when Big U cuts CS2 back off because he found out he was CS2 back. Mark Stevens showed him the work. Then another date timeline, October 2024, is when the indictment starts. The grand jury dropped the indictment, and WAC 100 is the same one. WAC 100 is on a phone call with two cooperating witnesses, one who claims he's the victim. Nasty work. So there go all of the charges, same charges from the complaint. The grand jury had found there was evidence to believe these crimes occurred. General allegations, at times relevant to this indictment. Defendant Eugene Henley Jr., also known as AKA Big U. This shit is starting to fuck with my shit. AKA AKA Draws, AKA Hannibal, AKA Hannibal Muhammad, AKA Anybody Killer, AKA Dave Austin, was a self-admitted member, an original gangster or OG of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, the Rolling 60s, a violent street gang founded and operating in Los Angeles, California. 2. Defendant Sylvester Robinson, a.k.a. Vane, was a criminal partner of defendant Henley. Defendant Robinson was a years-long associate and confidant of defendant Henley and served as his right-hand man, underboss, and enforcer. Defendant Mark Martin, a.k.a. Bear Claw, was a criminal partner of the defendant Henley and also a self-admitted member of the Rolling 60s. Defendant Martin was a close confidant and trusted lieutenant of defendant Henley. Defendant Martin also owned and operated under the hood muscle cars located at 1613 West 134th Street, Gardena, California. Hey, shout out Gardena, man. They're my old stomping grounds, man. I love Gardena. My favorite place in the world outside of the SETA. Defendants Henley and Martin co-founded Unique Music Entertainment, Inc. Unique Music, an independent record label. Defendant Henley was the chief executive officer, and defendant Martin was the chief financial officer of the Ex-Offender Fellowship Network, a purported California registered charitable organization under 26 USC subsection 501c3. Which did business as Developing Options and was also sometimes referred to as Unique Ballers. Crenshaw Rams Football, Crenshaw Youth Football and Cheer, and Crenshaw Ballers, hereinafter referred to as Developing Options. Defendant Robinson was on the developing options employee payroll. Defendant Henley also was the sole proprietor and owner of a related company, Celebrity Socks, which did business as Unique Socks. Developing options purported objective was to be a service and charitable organization providing alternative choices to gang violence, narcotic offenses, and other criminal activity for South Los Angeles youth. Developing option as depicted in the below image claimed to devote resources to inner city athletic organizations such as the Crenshaw Rams. Let's blow this up real quick and let's see what some of y'all is saying. See what some of y'all is saying in the chat as I take a quick breath, because this is a lot of reading and we're going to need those brief intervals. We got the content. Bro, you had no, I didn't have big teeth in the front. I ran into a pole, bro. Oh, damn, Deuce, you got playground mouth. Hey, Juvie, fuck you, my nigga. Hey, hold on. Let me see how Juvie looking with that old Hannibal Lecter hat at the end of Silence of the Lamb, nigga, when he had escaped, nigga, you walking with that old Islander hat, nigga, like you in the South Caribbean somewhere or something, nigga. P. White, damn, I'm too far ahead. They still talking about that. Let's go up here. Let's go down here, man. All right, so let's see what they say. Why was he calling himself David Austin? That was on a lick he got caught on. Let's go. Whitey Bulger hid in plain sight for 16 years. Crazy, fascinating story. Let's MF and go. Stand on the media. Let's go. Why was he calling himself Dale? We already did that. Stand on the media. Uh-oh. Hold on. Before I bring him on, let me go ahead and go right here. Y'all, I hope you can listen. We're going to be...
Blessings, and more blessings to the chat, and blessings to the host, blessings to Deuce Ills, and blessings to everybody that's in the room right now. Are we on Clubhouse?
Yes, sir. We is
on
Clubhouse.
Man. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse. Salute. If you in the goo, salute to you too. If you on stage, you already know how we play, man. And if you Ahmad, appreciate you being on your job, man. Make sure you share that room 3 times on the hallway. We can get our shine, man. Salute to Clubhouse. Salute to everybody on Instagram and YouTube live right now. The chat is definitely where it's at. Salute to the Blue Wrench Mom that's always on their job. And if you a friend that tapped in for the first time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this content. You already know what it is, man. Y'all sitting with Deuce M's, the Don, and Yael, the Kiwe pop star. Y'all see the title, The Voices of the Culture and the West Coast. Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely it. But if you look here, you see Unique struck up in graffiti-style artwork on the front of the building. You see Crenshaw. Unique and Crenshaw was simultaneous. Big U tried to tell y'all that. Y'all said he was hating on Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Crenshaw, he was bootlegging Crenshaw. No, Crenshaw come from the Crenshaw High School. Nipsey Hussle came out claiming Slauson boys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't see the difference? Oh, well, a lot of y'all ain't from the city. So I can see how y'all subscribe to such conspiracy theory. But in any event, this is the work. You can't argue with the work. You know what I'm saying? Crenshaw Rams, organizations. These is some of the stuff. Oh, and the socks. You know what I'm saying? They were selling merch, socks, and all of that for Crenshaw High School. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the city of Los Angeles, a unit of local government in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California, awarded Developing Options an annual $550,000 grant, which was federally funded as part of the City of Los Angeles Gang Reduction Youth Development GRID program. From on or about July 1st, 2018 to on or about July 30th, 2023, Developing Options was allotted $2.352 million from the mayor's office of the city of Los Angeles. Defendant Henley's duties and responsibilities as the chief executive officer of Developing Options included ensuring that Developing Options remained in compliance with its contract with the city of Los Angeles and the mayor's office, which included providing a budget, hiring and compensation of employees, complying with general reporting requirements of the contract. See, the feds is telling you they got a problem that Big U was not complying with general reporting requirements of the grid contract and otherwise serving as the leader of Developing Options. They saying, Mr. Henley, this was your responsibility. You're supposed to be reporting. And he didn't want to do it. He told them, I'm not doing that. Defendant Henley's responsibilities also included ensuring Developing Options compliance with mandatory grid handbook as set forth in its contract. Those requirements included, but were not limited to, submitting all employees for background checks, in order to work under the grid contract. Man, I'm hiring felons. We need to stop the violence in the street. Who know the streets better than these dudes that ran and controlled them? So I want to bring down the violence. Fuck what y'all talking about. I'm hiring felons. Right? Certifying Developing Options employee training with the Los Angeles Violent Intervention Training Academy and Member Action Resources Center. So he's supposed to make sure all of his employees are being certified through this LA Violence Intervention Training Academy and Members Action Resources Center, and general compliance with the requirements outlined in the handbook. As Chief Financial Officer, Defendant Martin shared with Defendant Henley the responsibility of ensuring Developing Options compliance with the grid handbook. Count one, the racketeering enterprise. At all times relevant to this indictment, defendants Eugene Henley Jr., also known as AKA Big U, AKA Unc, AKA Draws, AKA Hannibal, AKA Hannibal Muhammad, AKA Anybody Killer, AKA David Austin, Sylvester Robinson, AKA Vay, and Mark Martin, AKA Bear Claw, and others known and unknown to the grand jury were members and associates of a criminal organization that engaged in, among other things, acts of violence, fraud, and other crimes, including murder, robbery, extortion, human trafficking, and embezzlement. This organization, referred to hereinafter as the Big U Enterprise, operated within the Central District of California and elsewhere. The Big U Enterprise, including its leader, members, and associates, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18, U.S. Code, United States Code, Section 1961-4. That is, a group of individuals associated. Hey, bro, mute up. I got you. Don't worry about it. Hey, y'all got to get on y'all job on the flow, man. You got people coming on with hot mics, and y'all just letting them come with the hot mics. Y'all got to regulate that, or we don't need nobody with no beans. But the Big U constituted an ongoing organization whose members and associates function as a continuing unit for the common purpose of achieving the objectives of the Big U Enterprise. B, purposes of the enterprise. The purposes of the Big U Enterprise included, but were not limited to, the following: enriching Big U Enterprise members and associates by using the power and status of the Big U Enterprise and Defendant Henley and his reputation as an original gangster of the rolling 60s to commit extortion, robbery, fraud, and other crimes. So they saying that the purposes of this so-called enterprise was to make sure him and all his niggas got rich. You know what I'm saying? Promoting, protecting, and expanding the power, reputation, and profits of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates through the use of intimidation, fear, violence, threats of violence, assaults, extortion, and murder. C, using social media platforms, documentaries, podcasts, interviews, and defending Henley's reputation and status to create fame for and stoke fear of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates. I wonder if a nigga do a social media IG post, documentary, podcast, interviews, if that stokes the fear of people on the streets. Like you could jump through the TV or the phone and instill that kind of fear without being able to jump through the phone. This is some nasty work. The feds always reaching. D, financially enriching Big U enterprise members and associates by defrauding donors to nonprofit entities under the control of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates, including developing options. Finally, financially enriching Big U enterprise members and associates by defrauding federal, state, and local agencies that awarded grants and other financial support to nonprofit entities under the control of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates, including developing options. So because he failed to meet he benefited financially from these grants and he failed to meet and participate in all of the grid requirements, meaning snitching, because he didn't snitch, they're saying that he defrauded the federal, state, and local agencies. Well, the mayor knew that he wasn't snitching and working with the police. The police knew that he wasn't working with the police, and nobody had a problem with it because he brought results. But the feds is saying, no, you're going to snitch because that's in the grid handbook. So I guess if somebody else gets the contract, and that means they gonna be snitching, or the feds gonna have a problem with them. Financially enriching Big U enterprise members and associates by defrauding federal agencies and mortgage lending businesses to make loans to employees of entities under the control of Big U enterprise and its members and associates, including Unique Music and Developing Options. Gratifying Big U enterprise members and associates by trafficking and exploiting sex workers. Basically, getting him and his niggas some pussy. They tricking on some bitches, man. And they saying that he's trafficking them because they travel through interstate commerce. Concealing and protecting the illegal activities of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates from detection by law enforcement through means that included, among other things, witness tampering and obstruction of justice. C, means and methods of the enterprise. Among the means and methods by which members and associates of the Big U enterprise conducted and participated in the conduct of the affairs of the Big U enterprises included, but were not limited to, the following. A, members and associates of the Big U enterprise committed and conspired, attempted, and threatened to commit acts of violence, including murder, armed assaults, robberies, extortions, acts of intimidation, and threats of violence in order to generate income, create an atmosphere of fear, protect and expand the Big U enterprise's reputation for violence, and expand the Big U enterprise's criminal operations. B, members and associates of the Big U enterprise will use defendant Henley's history and reputation, including his connections to the violent Rolling 60 street gang, to tout the Big U enterprise's reputation for violence, and that the Big U enterprise controlled Los Angeles. Well, first and foremost, I'm quite sure Bear Claw and these other dudes have their own reputations. They don't need to be living through another man's reputation if they wanted to instill fear in someone. Second of all, Big U Enterprise controlled Los Angeles. No one person controls Los Angeles. In fact, the Rolling 60s, I never heard of this Big U Enterprise shit, has rival gang members that would look at Big U as a strike, where he doesn't control none of their territory or none of the business that they got to do. On top of that, the Mexican mafia and the Serenos definitely ain't allowing him to control their territory, the businesses they do. What? They gonna have a problem proving that aspect in trial. C, as part of the Big U Enterprises purported control of Los Angeles, control in parentheses, this shit is crazy. Individuals, including professional athletes, musicians, and others intending to conduct certain types of business in LA, including both legitimate businesses and illicit criminal conduct, were required to check in with defendant Henley. See, required is going to be a hard word to prove because it's all kind of people that do legitimate and illegitimate criminal conduct that come to LA that don't check in prior to traveling to Los Angeles or engaging in certain activities in order to obtain protection from the Big U Enterprise while in Los Angeles. Defendant Henley hosted a podcast titled Checking In. That's legitimate business. So I wonder if y'all gonna go charge Tarantino for bank robbery or conspiracy to bank robbery because he made the movie Heat. This is artistry. This is entertainment. The opening theme song of which explained, when you hop off the plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in. When your feet hit the street, check in. Because if not, shit get hot. You better check in. The check-in included both. Hold on, let me get my boy Randall on stage. A payment to the Big U Enterprise, as well as requesting permission from defendant Henley to conduct certain activities, including acts of violence that were sanctioned by the Big U Enterprise. So Big U got to give you permission to knock down the nigga that try to rob you. Big U give you permission to slap your bitch if y'all have a fight in the Hollywood club. This shit is crazy, bro. As defendant Henley described in the documentary film that he produced about his life titled Hip Hop Uncovered. Hey, go check out Hip Hop Uncovered on FX, the most viewed documentary in FX history. Go check that out. But anyway, if I don't pick up the phone, that can mean death for somebody. It definitely can. Because he puts fires out. Remember, he's the interventionist that tries to put fires out before they start. So if somebody calls him, based on his past reputation, he's not using that for evil. He's using it for good. Hey, nah, look, I know Deuce Sims. He is from Brim, but he's a good brother. He works on the intervention, mental health. He has his own nonprofit, bro. He is not on no bullshit, bro. Don't let nothing happen to that dude. That's good people. He utilizes his influence to put fires out. Because if something happened to Deuce Sims, there's going to be repercussions and more gang violence. But here, they try to utilize it as if him saying if he don't pick up the phone, that could mean death for somebody, as if he's doing evil for that. You could choose not to, and it's going to be a problem. If you choose not to check in, you suffer the consequences. You feel like you got something bigger than what's there? And that's not checking in is basically an act of war. It ain't not one human being who not going to check in. In a video, Defendant Henley recorded of a film crew in Los Angeles Hyde Park neighborhood in or around 2017, as depicted in the below image. Defendant Henley claimed, anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. But if you don't check it in, we're going to check you in, all right? We're going to check in all your equipment. And here's a picture of Big U. This happens to be the same picture that Luce the Liability, one of the cooperating witnesses, utilized in his fake cut and paste picture of a fake FaceTime with Big U when Nipsey Hussle was unalive. This is the picture that he used from that video shoot when he was out there. Crazy, right? And I don't believe in coincidence. Let's get back to it. While members and associates of the Big U Enterprise used Defendant Henley's and the Big U Enterprise's history and reputation in order to control Los Angeles through violence, fear, and intimidation, Defendant Henley simultaneously attempted to create an air of legitimacy for himself publicly by promoting himself as a reformed gang member focused on bettering his community through purported nonprofit organizations he founded, such as Developing Options, and by soliciting donations from celebrities and grants from governments and foundations to these charitable organizations. In actuality, Defendant Henley and other members and associates of Big U Enterprise use these purported nonprofit entities to enrich and further the objectives of the Big U Enterprises, including by embezzling funds meant as charitable donations to the nonprofit entities, using the nonprofit entities to fraudulently apply for government assistance and loans, and using the nonprofit entities to falsify employment and financial records to personally benefit members and associates of the Big U Enterprise. Members and associates of the Big U Enterprise would discipline other members and associates of the Big U Enterprise who acted in ways seen as detrimental to the Big U Enterprise, or other individuals who were seen as disrespecting the Big U Enterprise or its members, including through threats and acts of violence such as assault, kidnapping, and murder. Members and associates of the Big U Enterprise would avoid detection and apprehension by law enforcement by, among other activities, attempting to thwart and evade law enforcement surveillance, destroying video surveillance or other evidence, and threatening or pressuring victims or witnesses of crimes committed by members or associates of the Big U Enterprise to avoid interaction with or to provide untruthful statements or testimony to law enforcement officers. The racketeering conspiracy. So before we get into that, I like to be more interactive with the chat because the chat's where it's at. I see my boy Yael is up in there active in his chucks. So let's get in here and see what y'all talking about.
If you not active in your chucks, yeah.
Sharon, what up, bro? Juby, what up there? You know what I'm saying?
Lessons.
You hit the like button on your way in also. What you saying, bro?
You know, today, brother, is the blessed new year for the Israelites, man. Blessed to all who celebrate, you know. A great New Year's it is, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I definitely can understand it. I could dig it. Man, I could dig it. Section in the chat. Make sure you go subscribe. I was just singing it before I came in. Lou from the Lou. You over there singing sections, huh? Hey, Lou from the Lou, you want us to bring you up? I want to hear how much of it you know already. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, look, that's something different. You doing something different. I don't think people really caught on to them words. Once they start hearing them words, they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay."
You know, that's why I want to see how much you know. Jay Reed also on the unedited call with Luce Cannon. Oh my goodness.
Orlando Mason. unedited call. That means somebody was
So they saying that call was edited. Yeah, because he said
right.
it was 2 hours. So they listen, they chopping, screwing, and remixing the after orchestrating this investigation and in RICO indictment on Big U. Nigga, them niggas is writing a play right now on how they gonna convict Big U. Nigga, them niggas is working against him. Salute to y'all, homies, from Sweetport, Louisiana. Free to OG Big U. Hey, man, salute to you, bro. Appreciate your support. Alan Gordon, salute from East Oakland. The biggity, oh! Salute to the Yay area. Salute to East Oakland, man. You know what I'm saying? What we got? Drew V, Section, Bremen, and that M-Rock song are all in rotation. Hey, man, we really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Them royalty checks, they do help. You know what I'm saying? I might pay my internet bill and maybe even gas and water bill. You know what I'm saying? You know, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I own my masters. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, don't you own your masters to Section, bro?
Yes, I do. And wait a minute. We gotta address Steffi Weffy real quick in the chat. She
Oh,
said,
go ahead.
leave the South out of this. We don't chop and screw bullshit. Hey, hold on. Wait a minute, homie. Hold
Oh,
up.
she from Texas, so she thinking when I said chop and screw, I meant it like DJ Screw and no.
Oh, I didn't know
No,
that. I thought she was. I didn't know, but yeah, Steffi, hold up, homie.
look, Steffi, listen.
Don't be regulating on my brother like that. We didn't know none of that, homie. Back up. You
Hey,
feel me?
no, fuck all that. I'm
You know what I'm
beefing with
saying?
Steffi Weffy right now because I told her that we trying to make Sections go viral and we need her to make a twerk video to Sections. And we
Whoa.
know it's
Whoa.
going to go up. 'Cause other girls on TikTok and Instagram going to see all that, them assets.
A twerk addition to Section. All right, listen. Deuce did it. Deuce did it. If you want to do a twerk edition to Section right now, hit up Damu Kiwe Conversations, hit up the media chat. Make sure y'all let Deuce know. Get those videos going so we can see what's going on. We gotta know who's supporting the section and twerking that midsection. You understand what I'm saying?
You understand what I'm saying?
We trying to collide the sections together.
Look, I'm gonna put my Gmail in the chat, right? So y'all can send them to my DMs or to all the ladies. And you ain't gotta be the single ladies. You know what I'm saying? Your man ain't never gotta know. You could put on a mask. You know what I'm saying? But we want the world to see the world twerking to this Section song. And matter of fact, we could do a competition.
Hey,
And we can have interactive voting on who the winner is, and then we come up with some kind of prize, some merch, Damu Kiwe Conversation merch, signed by the Kiwe pop star himself.
hey,
You know
hey, hey, Deuce. Don't forget the Latinas. Don't forget. Hey, I see Selena in the chat. Let me see your section. So hey, listen, but real quick, I didn't know Steffi was from Texas. Hey, salute to Texas. Football is big out there. I just watched. I believe it was North Shore, Oak Cliff, Duncanville. Man, they got some high schools out there that is big in football, bro. Salute to Texas, North and South, Dallas and Houston. Salute.
Yeah, for sure. More than that, San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio for sure, bro.
Port Arthur, Texas. You know what I'm saying? El Paso. You know, Texas, huge as hell. I hate going through Texas. We went to Louisiana. We used to go to Texas like every summer and some Christmases because my great grandmother, my grandma Aura, right? She lived out there. That's where my mom's side of the family from, Dallas and Fort Worth. So we used to go out there for family reunions and holidays and all of that type of stuff. And bro, we'll get through Arizona and New Mexico in one day driving, right? will be like, welcome to Texas. Don't mess with Texas. Nigga, like, okay, we in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, it take another day to get to Dallas. Once we get to, I'm like, this motherfucker is long as hell.
Hey, Deuce. So you driving through Texas, right?
Uh-huh.
I reckon there's one place you won't stop in, and that's Wheeler County to see good old Debbie. Hey,
Hey, you
Debbie.
know what? Hey, Debbie, I promised Debbie that when I come through, you know what I'm saying, I will buy her a drink at the bar. I love to really dig and delve into who Debbie is because she's very intelligent. You couldn't pull the wool over her ear. And more than that, she got more balls than these rat niggas that we've been exposing because she said, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Damn, hey, you know what? I did catch that because you was like, you know, Debbie, whoop 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 whoop, and she was like, you know what? I'ma just shut up and keep my mouth shut. Basically, Cash McCarroll Jones should have did that. He should have kept his mouth shut in the interest of justice. I reckon.
So look, Anthony Howe, basically they couldn't control Big U. That's exactly what it is. The feds couldn't, the city hall, the mayor and them continued to give him the money because he was producing the results with the football, with these kids. He was producing results, bringing down the gang murders and the gang violence in his section. And that helps the mayor keep getting elected. So he's like, listen, whatever you're doing, I don't care how you're doing it, just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? It made him look good, and it was good for the city. The feds are saying, fuck all that. You gonna tell us some information, boy. Your name Toby. You know what I'm saying? Kunta Kinte. No, your name Toby. T-Card TV. Shout out to Damu and Kiwe. Keep y'all foot on these rats' necks. Love how y'all break it down. Hey, man, we appreciate that. Hey, T-Card TV, if you a YouTuber and you trying to mess with hashtag expose the debriefers, go ahead and hit me in my IG. We recruiting right now. You know what I'm saying? And we help. We always got the content. In fact, we are the content. Hey, Yael, you know what? I really would love to interview you at some point after we finish like the Hip Hop Police docuseries and we working on my documentary and we finish like this Damu Kiwe. I want to interview you because I don't think people really appreciate the Kiwe pop star in the manner that they should show their appreciation. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Deuce? I appreciate that, man. I think that'll be a dope interview. I think people will really get it an in-depth of who Yael is and the before and the after. You know what I'm saying? You know, before I was Yael, I was somebody else. But I'm all praise to the Most High, man, for restructuring my mind and everything.
Yeah, Poppy Blanco TV, salute to you. Same go to you. All YouTubers that's doing that. All producers and engineers. If you mix and master or if you produce beats, I put the Gmail active checks at Gmail in the chat. Send beats. We want an unlimited license. We can help get you some exposure, expose some of your talents. You know what I'm saying? And get your name out there. G'd up, Upquin, salute, man. Gregory Walmart, say Texas with them Longhorns. You know what I'm saying? Salute, H-Town, baby.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm low key liking the Houston Texans with CJ Stroud. I just like him a little bit.
Here we go, man.
Just
Here
a little. I just like him a little bit.
No,
Shout out Houston, bitch. Oh, Texas. Ah! Yeah, I fuck with it. Man. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, bro, as soon as you hear Steffi Weffy from Texas, now you know what? Who's that?
CJ Stroud is from California. He's a California quarterback. He took him to the playoffs 2 years straight. And he wears number 7. Deuce, you know what 7 signifies. So let's not go there, my brother.
They said do the remix. Are you twerking in your section?
Are you twerking your midsection?
Oh, man.
Are you twerking? Your midsection is crazy. All right, you know what? I gotta do the remix. Fuck it.
Oh yeah. Hey, oh, I just got the video. Hey, Steffi Weffy. Okay. Hey, we getting videos. We getting twerk videos. Hey, listen. Hey, we got prizes. Let's get back to the work, man.
Oh, dude, you got the first video, huh? Okay, brother.
No, I was just trolling. You know what I'm saying? Antonio Banks, salute, man. Dola, man. Damu Kiwe, salute. Debbie does Deuce. Listen, it's nothing like that with me and Debbie. Though she might fantasize about having a brim snake, that's not my intentions. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, she doesn't make enough money. I'm kind of like a high maintenance a whore, you know what I'm saying? When I slang.
Oh wow. Did this nigga just say she want the brim? Y'all are too much. Y'all wow, bro.
The old folks always say that the white folk fear intelligent alpha black men with morals. ATH. Listen, bro, you best believe that. And my life will always be in danger. But you know what's crazy? I was born struggling for my life. I've always been in danger. We melanated already. We always in danger every time you go outside. So, you know, it's going to come when it comes. I'm not trying to run into a bullet, but I ain't finna live my life like a pussy. You know what I'm saying? In fear of it coming sooner rather than later. You know what I'm saying? Napo 52K. Yael dropped some music. Interesting where it's at. All major platforms. Link is in the chat right now. Matter of fact, we finna take a brief intermission just because you acting like you don't know. Bro. Oh, it's gonna start back over while we go through the chat, because we gonna go through this chat real quick. Let that song play. Hit that like button. Share. Ducem been cooking for real. Answer, did Yael drop some new music? Yeah, he dropped a single. You know what I'm saying? We gonna nick and cut your ass up. And it got traction. Salute to Yael for getting that thing over 2,000 views just on YouTube alone. You know what I'm saying? The promotion and the marketing will be coming, as that is the first single. And we got plans for that one. It's already getting the right reception. I'm curious to know, was Spider-Loc request honored? Oh wow. So you guys want to know whether we reinstated his status as the Damu Kiwe conversation? Not so much. You can't give information of a crime to law enforcement or ex-law enforcement. That's just not our get down, you know what I'm saying? In fact, we stand totally against such. So yeah, he was never reinstated, you know what I'm saying? Edgar Moore, salute. 40 Water need to get on that one. Oh, Dollar Man, they done sent some. Let me get back to the content though. I've been, you know what I'm saying, messing around, messing with Yael, you know what I'm saying? But look, the racketeering conspiracy, beginning no later than in or around 2010 and continuing to on or about March 19, 2025 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California and elsewhere. Defendants Henley, Robinson, and Martin, and others known and unknown to the grand jury, each being a person employed by and associated with the Big U enterprise, an enterprise engaged in and the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly and intentionally conspired to violate Title 18 United States Code Section 1962C, that is, to conduct and participate directly and indirectly in the conduct of the affairs of the Big U enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity as that term is defined in Title 18 United States Code Sections 1961-1 and 1961-5, which pattern of racketeering consisted of A, multiple acts involving murder, chargeable under Nevada revised statute sections, kidnapping, chargeable under Nevada revised statutes. Both of those are referring to the death of RW, right? Robbery, chargeable under California Penal Code Sections 211. Extortion, chargeable under California Penal Code Section 518. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 relating to wire fraud, Title 18, 1344 related to financial institution fraud, Title 18, Section 1951 relating to interference with commerce, robbery, or extortion, Title 18 U.S. Code Section 2421 relating to interstate transportation for the purpose of prostitution. They just really want to assassinate that man character. Listen, how many of y'all, that's another room. We need to get the women together and see how many will admit that they have slung that meat to a broad that wasn't their girl or their wife. You know what I'm saying? And you do it away from where your wife. So if I go to Vegas, you know what I'm saying, and I know businessmen who do their trips specifically in Vegas so that they can fuck women without, you know what I'm saying? But that's another topic. It was part of the conspiracy that each defendant agreed that a co-conspirator would commit at least 2 acts of racketeering in the conduct of the affairs of the Big U enterprise. In furtherance of the conspiracy and to accomplish its objects on or about the following dates, defendant Henley, Robinson, and Martin, together with others known and unknown to the grand jury, committed and willfully caused to be committed various overt acts within the Central District of California and elsewhere, including but not limited to the following. Defendant Henley and Robinson drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, where defendant Henley kidnapped and murdered victim R.W., a unique music artist whom defendant Henley believed had disrespected the Big U enterprise. 8. Defendant Henley arranged for victim R.W. to record at a music studio in Las Vegas and then confronted victim R.W. for lack of production. Overt act number 1. In January 2021, defendant Henley, using his influence and reputation and the influence and reputation of the Big U enterprise, arranged for victim R.W. to record music at a studio owned by a Grammy-winning producer, in Las Vegas, Nevada, the studio. So they want to call Marty Marl known as the Grammy-winning producer. What about cokehead, pimp nigga, convicted pimp, convicted snitch, who was harboring and bringing in trafficking illegal animals, right? They found all kind of weird animals and shit, camelots and shit in this dude's house. Overt act number 2, accusing Big U and the Big U enterprise. In January 2021, at defendant Henley's direction, KF, an employee of Unique Music, arranged for victim RW's air travel to Las Vegas on January 19, 2021, and expected return to Los Angeles on January 26, 2021. Overt act number 3. In January 2021, at defendant Henley's direction, KF also arranged for victim RW's lodging at an Airbnb in Las Vegas. The Airbnb also from January 19, 2021 to January 26, 2021, so that victim RW could record music at the studio on behalf of Unique Music. Overt act number 4. On January 23rd, 2021, defendants Henley and Robinson drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas in a Lexus sedan. The sedan to confront victim RW about his lack of production in the studio. Overt act number 5. On January 24th, 2021, at approximately 2:00 a.m., defendant Henley arrived at the Airbnb in the sedan and asked victim RW why victim RW had not been at the studio the previous day, wasting studio time and disrespecting Unique Music and the Big U enterprise. Right? B, Defendant Henley kidnapped and murdered victim RW for perceived disrespect to the Big U enterprise. Overt Act number 6. On January 24th, 2021, defendants Henley and Robinson arrived in the sedan at the studio where victim RW was scheduled to record a song. Overt Act number 7. On January 24th, 2021, at the direction of defendant Henley, victim RW recorded the song at the studio before midnight. Overt Act number 8. On January 25th, 2021, at approximately 12:58 a.m., defendant Henley's 2 phones stopped reporting location data indicating that they were turned off or placed in airplane mode while in the vicinity of the studio. Overt Act number 9. On January 25th, 2021, defendant Henley drove victim RW from the studio to the Airbnb in the sedan. Overt Act number 10. On January 25th, 2021, at approximately 1:20 a.m., victim RW left the Airbnb with his suitcase packed and entered the sedan with defendant Henley one day before victim RW's scheduled checkout from the Airbnb and one day before victim RW's return flight to Los Angeles. Overt Act number 11. On January 25th, 2021, defendant Henley drove victim RW north of Las Vegas on Interstate 15 near the Apex Regional Landfill. Overt Act number 12. On January 25th, 2021, defendant Henley drove south on Interstate 15 back to Las Vegas. Overt Act number 13. On January 25th, 2021, at approximately 2:15 in the morning, defendant Henley's 2 phones both began reporting location data again, indicating that they were turned on or taken out of airplane mode while defendant Henley was continuing to drive south from Interstate 15 to US 95 back to Las Vegas. Overt Act number 14. On January 25th, 2021, at approximately 2:20 a.m., defendant Henley called defendant Robinson, who was still at the studio. Overt Act number 15. On January 25th, 2021, at approximately 2:30 in the morning, defendant Henley returned to the studio, telling an employee at the studio that he had gone to the gym. Overt Act number 16. On January 25th, 2021, victim RW's body was found off Interstate 15 in an area depicted below with multiple gunshot wounds to the head. And I guess this is the how the area looked, where they said that they found the RW's body. You know what I'm saying? And I see these little yellow things. I don't know if that was the area, the exact area, but it was somewhere in that area. C. Big U Enterprise members and associates attempted to cover up the murder. Overt Act number 17. On January 25th, 2021, defendant Henley contacted the producer to inform him that Nevada homicide detectives will be interviewing the producer about the death of victim RW. So, producer Marley Marl is saying that Big U contacted him and told him on the 25th, right? Ain't that the day that the body was yeah, that's the day that the body was found, right? Defendant Henley contacted the producer to tell him that Nevada homicide detectives would be interviewing the producer about the death of victim RW. Overt Act number 18. On January 26, 2021, defendant Henley contacted the producer and demanded that the producer and his employees leave the studio premises. So the next day, he told him that he needed to leave the studio premises. Overt Act number 19. On January 26, 2021, at defendant Henley's direction, Big U Enterprise associate DS and others known and unknown to the grand jury removed portions of the security system from the studio, including security video and data from the time victim RW and defendants Henley and Robinson were present at the studio prior to victim RW's murder. Overt Act, what day did they do that? Okay, they said the next day, but I thought that's the day that he told them the police was coming that day. So anyway, Overt Act number 20. On January 27, 2021, at approximately 10 o'clock p.m., KF asked the Airbnb owner if there were cameras on the property. So KF, who is, I guess, some kind of secretary or something for Unique, asked the Airbnb owner if there were cameras on the property. Right? So that's one thing. Hold on. Let me pull this dude back up. It's getting kind of chilly, man. That's why I've had to cover my mouth, man. What is it? Hold it down 1 second, y'all. Let them know where they at.
Man, you already know y'all sitting in one of the hottest lives on YouTube, one of the dopest rooms on Clubhouse. If you don't know, you know, man. Hey, listen, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, get active in the chat. Make sure you put the chucks and the stars. You know why? Y'all know who we are. Hey, man, Deuce Sims the Don. Yael the Kiwe pop star. Damu Kiwe. Conversations.
Oh, yeah, man. Nigga, it's cold as a mother out here right now. I ain't got on no socks. I put my beanie on. My thing, that air blowing in. Shit. Let's go. All right, now I'm gonna be a little bit warm. Okay, let's go. Back to the content. So, bam. On January 27, 2021, KF directed the owner of the account that he used to book victim RW Airbnb not to speak with law enforcement about victim RW's murder. Overt Act number 22. On February 3rd, 2021, KF falsely told law enforcement that he did not know the address of the studio and did not have the phone number for or any way to contact defendant Henley. Overt Act number 23. On December 31st, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley explained his motivation for committing murders on behalf of the Big U Enterprise, stated, "What you guys see on the internet, y'all keep hearing other people who don't have nothing to talk about but sell. Let me explain something to you. If I would have had a problem with any man, color, creed, king, or kind, the issue would have been resolved and he wouldn't be here or I wouldn't be here. It ain't no kid, nothing. And it damn near nobody who been in this motherfucker longer than me can stand against me and be who I am. If I had a problem with any man, and this wouldn't be so funny to me, I'm still who they say I am." Listen, my nigga, sometimes you gotta bluff them to the. If you can bluff them, you can beat them. CS2 back say a whole lot more than that. I ain't seen him getting indicted, but hey, let's go. And we know he a pussy, but I guess they believe Big U the truth. You know what I'm saying? Big U Enterprise members and associates attempted to evade law enforcement and control and intimidate witnesses to the murder. Overt Act number 24. On February 14, 2023, to evade law enforcement interaction regarding victim RW's murder, defendant Henley's wife, SH, falsely informed detectives that defendant Henley did not live at his residence full time. Overt Act number 25. On February 14, 2023, on an intercepted call after speaking with detectives, SH called defendant Henley from defendant Henley's father's phone to warn defendant Henley that detectives were seeking to discuss victim RW's murder with defendant Henley. And defendant Henley asked how many officers were there. Overt Act number 26. Beginning on February 14, 2023, to evade law enforcement interaction regarding victim RW's murder, defendant Henley did not return to his residence for multiple days. Overt Act number 27. On February 14, 2023, to evade Law enforcement, this the same day. Interaction regarding victim RW's murder. Defendant Henley switched cars with defendant Robinson. Right? Overt act number 28. On February 14, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley called defendant Martin to schedule a meeting to discuss victim RW's murder and evading law enforcement. Overt act number 29. On February 14, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley called DS to discuss victim RW's murder. Overt act number 30. On February 16, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley told DS that defendant Henley was traveling to Las Vegas the following day where the producer was located. Hey, move. Right? Overt act number 31. On February 21st, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley ordered his son not to talk to anyone about victim RW's murder. Overt act number 32. On February 21st, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley told SH to call KS' mother, but to do so on an encrypted FaceTime application to discuss victim RW's murder. Overt act number 33. On February 21st, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant, hold on, let me see. On an intercepted call, defendant Henley told SH to be careful what she discussed on the phone regarding victim RW's murder. Overt act number 34. On February 21st, 2023, on intercepted calls, defendant Henley arranged meetings with defendant Martin and Robinson. On overt act number 35, on February 23rd, 2023, as captured on a hidden recording device, surreptitiously placed inside under the hood muscle car, and after law enforcement attempted to contact defendants Henley and Martin, defendant Henley speculated whether they were under law enforcement surveillance for victim RW's murder. 2. For years, members and associates of the Big U enterprise extorted victims through actual and threatened force, violence, fear, and intimidation. Before we get into that, let's get back into the chat. Y'all hit that like button, man. We cooking right now. I did get some emails, but I want to get through this chat. Everybody that's in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody that's on Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse and you got a beam, make sure that you regulate the chat, free to chat where it's at. Anybody comes off their microphone, put them down in the chat. If they want to come back up, let them up. If they do it twice, boot their ass up out of the thing. So we got Block Dollar Music. Let's see what they got real quick, right? Y'all tell me what y'all think about this beat. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got with that. All I gotta say, crazy. Oh, they got rapping on there. We don't need no rapping. Hold on. Oh, shit. They destroyed the. Oh, that's crazy. Nasty work, bro. All right, yeah, I got that. So they done destroyed the video of CS2 back in Texas. You know what I'm saying? When he was pulled over. This is what they saying. Give Gino a line and you all be good. Pete's gonna have to compete. Hey, they count him out, ain't got shit to prove. Salute my brother. Miss Lisa, what up? Mike B, what up? Drew V, what up? Y'all just communicating. Y'all ain't even talking about the case, huh? FCS2 back right ass. If two people On the same case, identify you as the confidential source. Your ass told, simple and plain. Stevie Wonder can see that, bro. Yeah, that's how that go. And the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's definitely CS2 back. These nuts, these nuts gonna make sure y'all know it. If I don't, these nuts gonna ride CS2 back till his casket, and then he gonna make sure he go graffiti that mug and put that on there. Y'all hear with Coochie backtracking last night? A whack Coochie? Man, ain't no backtracking, bro. You done already implicated this man in multiple crimes. You orchestrated. Eggy Egg, what up? Egg exclusive content, salute. You know what I'm saying? You done already implicated this man after orchestrating meetings of all the cooperating witnesses and informants on your phone, nigga. 2 days in a row, nigga, knowing that they were going to be talking about your number one op. Nasty work, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now we see why Wack was interested with hanging with Tekashi 69. Right. SBGB got some man putting him up and some shit. It's a lot of people over there. He got some man putting him up. Why y'all come over here promoting that dude? Hey, Nevia, the next time you come up in here and you promoting that clown, you going to be getting kicked up out of here. Don't come over here promoting somebody else while we lie. That's weird. Old ass Steffi Weffy, what up? Hold on. Hey, 6-0, come on up real quick. I don't know who you is, bro. You say you want to say something, cause what?
Yeah, man, this stuff is filled all the way out here in Nashville. They got the feds out this way stacking up a lot of individuals because, Big U had ties with Young Buck. So Young Buck's entourage is being investigated in a lot of ways. So, this shit kind of filled way down here in the South and other states. Like, I got other homies, like in Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, talking about how the feds is just storming and just hitting up all the spots. I got about like 5 of my homeboys locked up right now behind this case, man. When Big U first came out here in Nashville, I kind of kept my distance from him, because I kept getting bad vibes off of him. But yeah, this situation is still all the way in the South. So that's all I had to say, bro. Appreciate that.
Hey, nah, man, appreciate that information, man. Salute to those brothers that's over there. Quazo 36, what's up with you, big guy? Oh, man, I'm small potatoes now, man. I live in Madison, Wisconsin. I don't rob banks no more. I don't sell drugs. I don't gang bang against my ops. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a YouTube podcaster and somebody that works with a multi-million-dollar company, man. That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a salesman, man. You know what I'm saying? That's it, bro. But let's get back into the content. You know what I'm saying? This is some nasty work. All right, overt act number 36. For years, Henley extorted victim one, a music and club promoter who transitioned into a partnership with an unlicensed marijuana dispensary located in Los Angeles, the dispensary. So this is Dale, the long tail rat, right? He's victim one, the one that Wack put on the phone with the person he knew claimed that he had robbed him in his dispensary, right? And he knew because he probably the one that sent Luce Cannon up in there. But in any event, they're saying this dude joined a partnership with Big U at some point, but they're claiming he's extorting them at the same time. This is nasty work. For up to $25,000 per month in extortion fees until victim one started to ignore defendant Henley's calls. Overt Act number 37. On July 5th, 2021, when victim one had been ignoring defendant Henley's calls, demanding extortion payments, defendant Robinson, Big U, how they going to differentiate if it's extortion payment if these niggas got business together and this nigga owe this nigga some money because of their partnership. This gonna be they gonna have a problem with this. Big U Enterprise member and self-proclaimed Rolling 60s member Termaine Ashley Williams, aka Luce Cannon, aka Luce Bows, aka Loose Lips Ashley, right? And approximately 9 other individuals, all acting at defendant Henley's direction, traveled to the dispensary and committed a robbery. Overt Act number 38 on July 5th, 2021, defendant Robinson Williams and others known and unknown to the grand jury stole products, cash, and multiple personal items from those in the dispensary, including victim 1. Overt Act number 39 on July 5th, 2021, shortly after the robbery of victim 1's dispensary, defendant Henley invited victim 1 to defendant Henley's home, where defendant Henley Williams and other robbers were present, and many of the items robbed from the dispensary were on display. Overt Act number 40 on July 5th, 2021, at defendant Henley's home with the robbers and the items robbed from victim 1's dispensary present, defendant Henley told victim 1, "That's how you rob yourself." That shit sound like a nigga owed this nigga some money and the nigga was ignoring him, and nigga he went and took what was his and then invited the nigga over there to tell him about it. Nigga, why you playing with my money? But they're going to say it was a robbery and extortion. Okay, but they were business partners. That's crazy. All right, Overt Act number 41 on July 5th, 2021, at defendant Henley's home with the robbers and the items robbed from victim 1's dispensary present. Defendant Henley returned a portion of the robbery proceeds to victim 1 and told victim 1 that he would need to pay $10,000 to prevent future robberies. Overt Act number 42 on July 5th, 2021, at defendant Henley's home with the robbers and the items robbed from victim 1's dispensary present, defendant Henley directed victim 1 to identify other marijuana businesses that they could similarly rob and offered to provide victim 1 with a portion of the robbery proceeds from targets victim 1 identified. Overt Act number 43. On November 11, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley and Big U Enterprise member and self-proclaimed Rolling 60 member Zaire Mitchell, aka Brick Baby, coordinated how Mitchell would give defendant Henley the proceeds from a robbery that Mitchell committed. Overt Act. So that now they said they got a wiretap of Big U charging Brick Baby for some money on a lick he passed on. I don't know if it was a legal lick. Oh, no, they said a robbery, right? Overt Act number 44. On November 11th, 2022, and in intercepted calls and text messages while defendant Henley talked with Big U Enterprise associate Frederick Blanton Jr., Blanton, and defendant Robinson to help defendant Henley collect from Mitchell's associates. Blanton said they robbed the nigga for some shit. They made a nigga call his plug and then they booked him, to which defendant Henley responded, "I'm going to grab half of whatever he got them. I'm going to give it to Vay and Vay can bring the rest to you." Overt Act number 45. On November 11, 2022, in an intercepted call, defendant Henley can be heard counting money and stating that it ain't nothing but 2 to 3 racks, to which Blanton responded, "Brick Baby said it was supposed to be between 5 to 7. Man, got to make that call out to Brick, man." Overt Act number 46. On March 3rd, 2023, On an intercepted call, defendant Henley described the modus operandi of the Big U Enterprise robberies, which included robbing individuals but not taking everything from them so that they could continue to work, be robbed, identify other robbery targets, and buy the stolen items back from the Big U Enterprise. Defendants, they said they got that on Wiretap where Big U was incriminating himself. Defendants Henley and Robinson continued to extort Victim 1 and others. Overt Act number 47. On July 9th, 2021, defendant Robinson tasked Victim 1 with identifying additional robbery victims for defendants Henley and Robinson. Overt Act number 48. On July 9th, 2021, defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that although Victim 1 had paid a portion of his extortion debt to defendant Henley, Victim 1 had not paid all of it. Overt Act number 49. On August 6, 2021, to intimidate Victim 1, defendant Robinson told Victim 1, trying to lick somebody that ain't even hard. All this shit is just, this ain't working, man. I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong business, homie. Overt Act number 50. On September 2nd, 2021, defendant Henley told Victim 1 that any proceeds Victim 1 received from a separate business owner must be paid to defendant Henley. So that's months later, right? Overt Act number 51. On September 3rd, 2021, defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that defendant Robinson needed to tell defendant Henley something about Victim 1's outstanding extortion debt and to appease defendant Henley. Victim 1 said that he could pay either $500 or $1,000. So this is not on Wiretap. This is what he's adding to the conversation, Victim 1. Overt Act number 52. On September 15, 2021, defendant Robinson demanded payment from Victim 1 for defendant Henley, but stated that he would allow Victim 1 to pay the following day. Overt Act number 53. On September 20th, 2021, defendant Henley and Victim 1 discussed how the portions of an extortion payment would be divided between defendants Henley, Robinson, the Rolling 60s, and Victim 1. Overt Act number 54. On September 20th, 2021, defendant Robinson discussed with Victim 1 how defendant Robinson and Henley were taxing Victim 1. Overt Act number 55. On September 23rd, 2021, to intimidate Victim 1, defendant Henley expressed his frustration that Victim 1 and another extortion victim, a local business owner, were not paying the extortion payment to the Big U Enterprise. Overt Act number 56. On October 19, 2021, to intimidate Victim 1, defendant Henley told Victim 1 that defendant Henley was taking over the extortion of a business owner and taking the profits from every fifth table sold at the establishment. Overt Act number 57. On October 22nd, 2021, defendant Henley asked Victim 1 why Victim 1 was calling defendant Henley instead of paying his extortion debt. Overt Act number 58. On October 22nd, 2021, defendant Robinson provided Victim 1 a phone number for a Big U Enterprise associate to send electronic extortion payments. Overt Act number 59. On November 10th, 2021, defendant Henley directed Victim 1 to start running an illegal marijuana shop to pay rent to the Big U Enterprise. I thought he was already running an illegal marijuana shop. So now he's putting that on Big U too. Okay. Overt Act number 60. On November 29th, 2021, Defendant Robinson directed Victim 1 to pay Defendant Henley $1,000 on a weekly basis. Overt Act number 61. On November 29th, 2021, to intimidate Victim 1, Defendant Robinson asked Victim 1 where another extortion victim lived so that Defendant Robinson and Henley could fuck him up. Overt Act number 62. On November 29th, 2021, Victim 1 paid Defendant Henley a $500 extortion payment. Overt Act number 63. On December 11th, 2021, Defendant Robinson asked Victim 1 how much extortion money Victim 1 had for Defendant Henley and stated that Defendant Henley was going to want at least $1,000. Overt Act number 64. On December 17, 2021, Defendant Robinson asked Victim 1 how much extortion money Victim 1 would have and discussed cash and electronic payments. Overt Act number 65. On December 18, 2021, Defendant Robinson again asked Victim 1 how much extortion money Victim 1 would have. Overt Act number 66. On January 20th, 2022, Defendant Robinson extorted $1,000 in cash from Victim 1 for Defendant Henley and the Big U Enterprise. Overt Act number 67. On February 17, 2022, Victim 1 requested an extension from Defendant Robinson regarding an extortion payment, and Defendant Robinson told him he had been holding Defendant Henley off already. Overt Act number 68. On February 17, 2022, Victim 1 paid Defendant Robinson a $1,000 extortion fee. Overt Act number 69. On February 19, 2022, Defendant Henley called Victim 1 and demanded $1,500 real quick. Overt Act number 70. On April 3rd, 2022, Defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that Defendant Henley was increasing Victim 1 taxes to $3,500. Overt Act number 71. On April 9th, 2022, Defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that the individuals were paying the Big U Enterprise $2,500 to $3,000 so that Defendant Henley could purchase SH a $30,000 necklace, right? Overt Act number 72. On April 10th, 2022, Defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that Defendant Henley wanted to collect $2,000 from Victim 1 every Monday. Overt Act number 73. On April 16, 2022, Defendant Henley told Victim 1 that he needed a donation for SH's birthday. Overt Act number 74. On June 5th, 2022, to intimidate Victim 1, Defendants Henley and Robinson demanded that Victim 1 stop doing business with WAC 100 because WAC 100 was suspected to be an informant. We're going to stop right there and see what the crowd, the chat is talking about. CS2 back. Oh, yeah, Nino Black, you 100% right. WAC tried to use that. Basically, I told on him because he's told people I was CS2 back. Right. Agent Orange and his minions are on a mission as soon as he got in office. I got my strike for robbing a bank, one and done. Memphis is hot with the feds because that rapper just got unalived, and then a 6-year-old boy got unalived 2 days later. Shit don't have nothing to do with Big U. Hit that like button. Deuce is cooking. Show him and Yael some love. It only takes a second. That's a fact. Hit that like button. All the bandwagon folks are going to come over and say, always knew WAC was a rat. No, you didn't. You've been dick sucking for 3 years. Deuce and Yael have been consistently letting you know WAC is CS2 back. Hey, that's a fact, these nuts. Deuce, what's up, my guy? Quizo 36, salute to you, man. Man, I'm about to feed my horses for their lunch. Laugh out loud after a roll up a fat one. Country Folks Life 5, Darlow. Hey, man, I love horses. I love for you to send some pictures of your horses. You know what I'm saying? I know how to saddle them up, put the bit or brittle in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Clean them, brush them. You know what I'm saying? Feed them. You know what I'm saying? I did that in a group home I was in Lancaster, California. They sent me there. That was the best group home I probably ever been to. I still AWOL from there also. I stole a car and went back to the set. You know what I'm saying? High Desert, California, county side, stayed smoky like a broke down chimney. High Desert, California? Wait, is that the high desert like Victorville, Barstow area, or you mean like the high desert where the penitentiary at? Let me know, country folks. Hey, anybody notice CS2 not yelling no more? Shit, you miss him just yelling at that damn lawyer. Anthony, he got his own point across, but he exposed himself. CS2 in hiding. Dale the Rat caught a case, started telling lies. He ain't a credible witness. Well, that's what we got to get enough information on him, period. We want those girls he was pimping on, gather some more information on his rat ass. You know what I'm saying? The underage girls he was pimping on. The dudes he was dealing dope to in Ohio because he got that indictment out there too. So, yeah, that's code if the case is all hearsay from Ratatouille's. No, they got some wiretaps, bro. See, I'm just going through this, and they're talking about some of this they're going to be able to prove because they saying Big U and these other guys are implicating Big U and themselves in crimes. That's nasty work. Wonder if federal authorities will cite Dre's remarks as evidence. Dr. Dre's comments about Big U, where he referred to him as an OG who helps clear the streets. CS2 is not done yet. Oh no, he definitely not done. He going out like a one of the greatest rats in history. Big U is through. Money Inc. said Big U is through. Well, it definitely looked like that. I would have thought the same thing about Del Dog in the Main Street case and their indictment. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot more evidence on that one. So I know, that's why his ass was shaking on that podcast last night. I woke up to this fool with Waukesha shaking a cold dope fiend. Cali all day. But remember his story is the beginning was that Suge and Draws went to steal a contract from Wack. He didn't say nothing about Big U saying that he was CS2 back. He said it was because Suge and Big U. Right. Bunch reduced. Big Marcus, what's happening? Victorville, okay. Apple Valley, okay. Bompton, Hesperia. What's up? What's up to my peoples? King Edo 9 do salute. Ali Lantos. Yeah, that's the high desert also. So I was just making sure I clarified which high desert he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm fresh. I'm not saying Big U's cook. I was reading somebody's comments, bro. Salute. What up, Fox? Yeah, I'm not saying Big U's cook. I'm looking at I'm reading comments on YouTube. It definitely a lot of this shit look weak. But nigga, when they talk about they got you on wiretap and you're confessing to actual overt acts as part of a conspiracy, that's gonna be hard to come up off of, bro. Just respectfully. Y'all know Draw's my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's some real. They gave the cooperator money to give to Big U. Yeah, they definitely did that. But why was he giving them the money? He also had a partnership with Big U, right? At a weed dispensary, an illegal weed dispensary. So if he had a partnership with him on that, then the money that he giving could be to keep Big U off his ass because he was holding Big U cut of the dispensary money. Doesn't necessarily have to be an extortion payment, bro. You know what I'm saying? They ain't bed and in business together. So that means they got another element they have to prove about why the money was given to Big U. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that wiretap ain't no joke. I watched a few of my homies go to the feds on telephone counts. Yeah, just like CS2 back. He got caught on a wiretap. Big U was innocent until proven guilty. I'm with you, right, Q? Yeah, that wiretap is all bad, though. Got to be careful discussing things on the phone. It's best to meet up in public like the old school. Yeah, there's a reason why they wanted everybody to have a phone at their disposal. All right, let's go. But what y'all think? Y'all ain't nobody said nothing about what Big U in 2022 told victim one, Dale the long tail rat, that Big U to stop fucking with CS2 back with Whack 100 because Whack 100 was a informant. What y'all think about that? Nobody got nothing to say about that. I guess y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? So they said Big U didn't believe dudes for real, and we can only imagine what Brick Baby said on them taps. But that's still illegal. What? What? Illegal, but it's not extortion. What's the dude name? Money Inc. What's illegal? That he got payments from somebody that owed him money? That's not illegal, bro. And you talking about illegal weed dispensary, nigga? Do you understand that you can run and open up a trap house with weed in LA right now, and the feds could come run in because the local police ain't even going to arrest it because it's legalized in LA for up to, I think, like 2 pounds, right? Unless you got a grower's license where you can have 50 pounds, right? And the police will raid them. They got them all over the city, bro. The feds will raid them today. And because there's no time with it, their dudes will be out and pay their fine and be back up cracking the next day, bro. That's not no fucking jail time. That shit is now if you get caught taken out of town, I'm quite sure the feds, and even then the feds don't get that much time for weed, bro. I had a fucking celly who got caught. Shout out to the homie Slim for Circle City, Paul Root. You know what I'm saying? He got caught with 1,425 pounds, nigga. 1,425 pounds, nigga, bringing it in from Mexico, right? And he was working with the cartel, allegedly, right? That's why they supposed to got on him in the paperwork. That's what it said. And they catch him with 1,425 pounds. He got 36 months. Nigga, a year knocked off because he did the drug program. That nigga was at the halfway house, nigga, in a year and a half, 2 years, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that shit is, that little shit niggas talking about with these little crumbs of weed, that ain't no goddamn thing. Yo, I live in Feeling. Oh, I know where Feeling at, bro. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to Victor Valley College, my nigga. There's no doubt that the rap was playing the government out of that money, but lying and saying it was for Big U. Wack was telling Dale to tell on Big U. The Degante, man, you didn't know that? You just figured that out? I thought that was the obvious. We just ran the content. That was homie trying to deflect off him because he knew he was cooperating. Yeah. Right? Well, we all know that Rat 99. Now, these are the things that jurors is going to go through the jurors' mind. Like, was this dude is he just saying this and putting this all on him because they offered him downward departures and time cuts? You know what I'm saying? This is what everybody is going to have to consider, these jurors. When they get this dude on the stand, how credible is he going to be on the stand with these other corroborating statements that he's trying to cooperate against Big U, right? Facts, federal law still not rocking with the dispensaries. Yeah. Rat 99 cents. Yeah, facts. Salute Mike B. What up? I'll tell you this. If blood name is mentioned in open court, he's on the case. Ain't no getting around that. Wait, who you talking about? Money Inc? Who's blood? Not on the federal level. That's why dispensaries have cameras at their shops for DEA. Wait, I don't know what you mean. It's soul job. You gotta explain that. Bird, that's blood, new name, rat 99 cents. Nigga was bringing in 1,425 pounds of Acapulco gold. Hey, on everything. But you gotta remember, back then you could get a pound of some of that Acapulco gold. So you like, this is late 90s, early 2000s, right? So you could get probably back then a pound was costing like $3.25, and so basically he's selling them for $100 a pound. You know what I'm saying? So it said 1,425 pounds, 1.4 million out of town. Facts. Yeah, that's it. Where else they gonna go? Man, ain't nobody smoking. Well, they do got some broke people in LA, and some people like Bosco. Shout out Bosco 100. So look, I used to be moving the Jay-Z, right? The Arizona popcorn, right? Or Redenbacher, right? Looked like the lime green chronic, Dr. Dre chronic, right? And I had it for the low, right? A whole bunch of that shit. And OT, that shit was going. Niggas was calling it Dro, bro. When they see it out of town. And AZ, if you smoked AZ, you know AZ smokes pretty good. But unlike Kush, you only gonna be high like 2 hours. And then you gonna see a couple C's in it. If you smoke, you know, right? But OT, they was like, oh, that's that Dro, that's that Cali. So niggas used to be moving the Jay-Z OT, making a killing, nigga. 800 a P, 1,000 a P. You know what I'm saying? And niggas getting 10, 20, 30s, 40s, and 50s. You know what I'm saying? So this nigga, he getting this. I think that dirt weed was still going for like 700, 800 a pound out of town, depending on where he was going. So nigga, $800. Let me see do the math real quick. So you say 1,425, 800 times 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0. Wait, 0, 0, 40, 20, 32, 34. So you saying, nigga, you talking about still getting a nice bag up off that thing. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, depending on how much you sell it for. Now, I knew I was just elaborating, dude. Hey, okay, the guy there appreciate that elaboration. Hey, hit that like button when y'all come in. Wack got all these rats on tour doing interviews. Nasty work. Yeah, they nasty work, man. Come up this summer and fuck with me. Your fan band, bro. You know my peeps. M Kid, Green Eyes know me. KT knows me too. Oh, you talking about the homie Melly's son. And then KT knows me too, bro. Yeah, the homie KT, that's the bro. My big folks is Bobby Jr., rest in peace. Damn, bro, rest in peace to Bobby Jr. His son is my young gangster, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about for real. The wiretap is about the extortion. So the money they gave dude to give to Big U is the extortion payments. They set up meetings on the phone, disgusting. That's DISCUSSING, not disgusting the payment. No, I don't think so. And then at the same time, they weren't talking to Big U on a lot of those payments. So unless dude say, for all they know, these dudes was moving like Luce Cannon was. Luce Cannon was robbing shit and telling people he was doing it in Big U name. Dude, is it possible to clip up all the lies and shut Wack admitted to lying about on Big U and send to his lawyer? Well, we're already in the process of doing that. You know what I'm saying? I got this paperwork from Big U legal team. You know what I'm saying? They sent it to me on WhatsApp yesterday, and we already had the link for yesterday's content up. We got content. No. Ain't no content. This is public record, bro. You sound like you traumatized by the police or something, my nigga. You all right? You boo? Luce Coochie took the queen for a day. Oh, I'm sure he did. Oh, Big U lawyers gonna tear what Kashi 99 cents ass up on that stair. Hey, listen. A pound of Acapulco gold in the mid-90s was like $350. Yeah, but what about the 2000s? It probably went down because at least I know in LA. At different places, it'll be somewhere, it'll be something different. Mike B, man, I came up smoking all kind of shit, homie. I'm a young OG. Nah, nigga, I used to smoke the chocolate tie. I remember we used to get the Acapulco gold off Pico and Vermont from the Playboy essays. They used to give you like for $10, they'll give your ass like a whole handful, nigga, out the bag of that Acapulco gold, nigga. We was like 11, 12, 13 years old, nigga, catching the bus down there, the nigga, to get a whole bunch of that Acapulco gold. They had the chocolate tie. They had the red hair stress. Nigga, they had all kind of, the Arizona, nigga, they had all kind of, we call it mid. Hey, the contact, y'all call that mid? That shit is not, with Irie, bud, popcorn mid, yeah. We used to be, Reggie. It's all Reggie. If it's a male plant, it's Reggie Bush, regardless. I don't give a fuck how it look. If it got seeds, that's the male plant. It got nuts, that's stress. You know what I'm saying? We only mess with the female plant. But now, when you're getting your money and you hustling, OT, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, that stress was a nice way. Everybody ain't got enough money and they don't smoke like niggas in Cali do. You know, we got Humboldt County, nigga. Some of the highest rates of THC in the world. The highest rate of THC found in the world was found in Humboldt County. And then, but there's one strain that had a higher THC measurement, and it's in Africa. I'm willing to, if I could find that strain with those measurements, I'm willing to travel throughout the motherland to the Congo jungles if need be. I need to hit that good old kush. Us Detroiters been growing our own weed since the early 80s. Hey, E-Pont, don't do that, bro. I know a gang of niggas that was taking weed from Compton, South Central LA, and watched to Detroit, bro. So if y'all was growing it, it definitely wasn't the quality. Even if it was hydros, it definitely wasn't the quality of what you call it. Oh, I got some tricks on the dro, any flavor you want. And cotton candy, what is the favorite? Bird. Listen, they having a whole nother conversation. Rest up. Who said Reggie? KO after Deuce flame you up out of here. Right. Niggas don't know nothing about making 50 racks off of Reggie. It was awesome. You had to have been there, right? Fact, we called it Dro or LG. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't do. Hey, little nigga, get your. Where my belt at? You want to come shake the table, nigga? Be all up under me. I know he be knowing I be doing. That shit was going for $1,200 a P in Vegas for show. Hell yeah, you already know. You older than me, blood. I was smoking 13, smoking Master Kush, OG, all that shit. I don't smoke all this new Zaza shit. I remember pushing the AZ. Look, everybody was moving to AZ. No cap, 2008 through 2011, nigga was still selling AZ, a.k.a. Baby Kush. Y'all niggas ain't shit, nigga. I thought I was the only nigga that was whack Kashi 99 cent trying to press London's Slim Jesus. He don't want nobody exposing him on that work. Oh, yeah, I stopped smoking in 2010. Oh, man, listen, man, I'm a smoke. I promise I smoke chronic to the day that I die. Chocolate and hash. Deuce, you think he gonna to the box? Since they saying they got him on wiretap, Well, first, I know he gonna take it to the box because he ain't pleading out to that hot one. That means life and dying in jail. And then it's weak as hell. You listening to what they talk about they got? He turned his phone off at this time. First of all, the time frame that the medical people come with is approximate time. And nigga, if I'm in Vegas and I'm not with my bitch and I'm trying to fuck a bitch, knowing my wife might be calling me or my girl might be calling me, nigga, I'm gonna turn it off and act as if my phone died too, nigga. So just because his phone was, and then he turned it on and came over, man, nigga, in Vegas, nigga, you know what goes down in Vegas? I lived out there, nigga, during COVID, nigga. You know how many bitches a nigga was flipping, bro? $350 a pound and a little magic 2Gs all day in Nevada at Midwest, at Mountain West. Ooh wee, good times. Yeah, man, the money was fluid then. Oh, man, we would get chocolate tie off 54th and Van Ness. Oh, yeah, they had the chocolate tie in the VNs. Oh, I know how to fluff it up and get rid of all the seeds. I went to work. Boo-boo, Reggie Bunk. Hey, listen, Lou from the Lou, you right, bro. Ain't nobody smoking that. But listen, don't knock the hustle, nigga. We definitely was shipping that OT. Chocolate tie was flight. That was back in 91, 92. Yeah, that was back in 90. You got to think, 91, 92, I was, in 90, I was 12, 91, I was 13, 92, I turned 14. Man, that Durban Poison, I'm trying to get I don't know what that is, Durban Poison. It literally had that chocolate taste. It did have that chocolate taste. Lamb's breath. Finna get us a RICO. Hey, bro, if they lock us up for RICO for some weed in 2025, some weed we was smoking and sending out in the early 90s, bro, then we going back into slavery. If Whack name, you said if Whack name is said in open federal court, he on the case, ain't no getting around that. Hey, bro, you think they not gonna say his name? He was a victim. He was a victim. I was a victim. Mandarin Skittles is fire. I don't know nothing about that, brother. The streets gotta eat. Yeah, for real. In Compton, we called it Pretendo. Yeah, that was that Pretendo, man. Jay-Z. We called that Mexican brickweed popcorn. I don't want to know. Huh?
No, I said
What you talking about, y'all?
I said Pretendo.
Yeah. You know
remember
what I'm saying?
I remember when I did smoke weed and I smoked that shit. I was like, man, this shit got me. I was scared as a mother. I said, yeah, man. Weed was too much for me, man.
Damn, that's crazy. My internet just keep going out. You grow dro underwater. Yeah, that I miss a good person. So now they connected my Wi-Fi back. My computer is tripping, bro. They keep taking me out. These young niggas smoking this CIA weed. Yeah, now all they talking about is the weed. Let's get back to it, man. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse. Salute to everybody on IG. You know what I'm saying? Stay active, share the live. Let people know that we over here with the content. Let's get back into this indictment, man. So, Overt Act number 75 on June 22nd, 2022, defendant Robinson called victim 1 and demanded money because defendant Henley had demanded it. Overt Act number 76 on June 22nd, 2022, to intimidate victim 1, defendant Robinson told victim 1 that defendant Henley had been asking defendant Robinson if the Big U Enterprise needed to do a takeover of victim 1, referring to the previous takeover robbery of victim 1's dispensary after victim 1 stopped paying the Big U Enterprise extortion fees. Overt Act number 77 on June 22nd, 2022, to intimidate victim 1, defendant Robinson told victim 1 that when a Big U Enterprise member spent time with defendant Henley, it was necessary to carry a firearm. Overt Act number 78 on July 9, 2022, to intimidate victim 1, defendant Henley told victim 1 that defendant Henley has seen Whack 100 with his wife and daughter, and there's 15 to 20 niggas with us with hoodies tied down. I got hoodie on all black tied down. She like, boom. She jumped in the car. This nigga refers to Whack 100 bitch ass as a rat, and she like, boom. She jumped in the car, paid for the, and then took off. Boom. This nigga screaming, my wife draws. I see you, Eugene. I see you. Eugene Henley. I see you. He's screaming all that. He got his blower out. But he fucked up because nobody's around. We like, bitch ass nigga. I'm like, yeah, bitch ass nigga. He like, die here, man. Don't do this. My wife, my kids in that car. Draws. Don't do this. He's screaming. Now, who said whether or not they was gonna say his name on that stand in this case, in that courtroom? That sounds like the ultimate victim. And what's the weirdest part about it, as being a victim, I'm sure the FBI would love to have corroborating evidence of this type of intimidation. So why haven't Whack 100 told us that the feds had come to talk to him about this situation? Kind of things that make you say, Let's get back to the content. They already talked to Whack about this shit. He don't want to tell us because we're going to ask about a copy of his statement to the police and the feds. Same thing we did with CS2 back. And as a CS, he ain't going to want to give it to us. Hold on, who the fuck is that? All right, so Overt Act number 79. Wait, is that an overt act? Is that what they saying? Yeah, Overt Act number 78. Damn. Overt Act number 79 on July 9, 2022, to intimidate victim 1. Defendant Henley threatened victim 1. We got to rob someone. You with that bullshit. Overt Act number 80. On July 14, 2022, defendant Robinson told victim 1 that defendant Henley was angry with victim 1 and demanded $2,000 from victim 1. Overt Act number 81. On July 21st, 2022, defendant Henley demanded money from victim 1 and stated that he needed the money for taxes and the Employment Development Department. Overt Act number 82. On July 31st, 2022, defendant Henley told victim 1 that defendant Henley needed $30,000 to pay his developing options staff and was considering a robbery and increased extortions to obtain the funds, saying that defendant Henley did not care if they had to rob Peter to pay Paul. They needed to get in. Overt Act number 83. On July 31st, 2022, Victim 1 paid defendant Henley a $1,500 extortion payment after defendant Henley told Victim 1 that we bumped the weekly down to $1,500. That's not on Wiretap, but that's what the Victim 1 is telling them. Overt Act number 84. On August 4th, 2022, defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that Victim 1 needed to pay defendants Henley and Robinson. On August 9th, 2022, Victim 1 paid defendant Robinson a $1,500 extortion payment. Overt Act number 86. On September 7th, 2022, defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that Victim 1 needed to pay, but explained how Victim 1 could get more time to pay. Overt Act number 87. On September 15, 2022, Victim 1 paid defendant Robinson a $2,000 extortion payment. Overt Act number 88. On September 15, 2022, when Victim 1 asked why Victim 1 and others were still paying extortion fees to the Big U enterprise, defendant Robinson explained that when defendant Henley got out, he said, "I'm the toughest nigga, and here's my body of work to prove it. And you know, I'm the only nigga still killing niggas today. You niggas retired. I didn't." They understand that. Overt Act number 89. On September 21st, 2022, Victim 1 paid defendant Robinson a $1,000 extortion payment. Overt Act number 90. On September 28, 2022, Victim 1 paid defendant Robinson a $2,020 extortion payment. Overt Act number 91. On October 2nd, 2022, to intimidate Victim 1, defendant Robinson told Victim 1 that if defendant Robinson was not serving as a middleman for Victim 1 between Victim 1 and defendant Henley, it would be very, very bad for Victim 1. Overt Act number 92. On October 2nd, 2022, defendant Robinson stated that two people owed the Big U enterprise $200,000, but defendant Robinson had not yet threatened them with violence. Overt Act number 93. On October 5th, 2022, Victim 1 paid defendant Robinson a $2,000 extortion payment. Right? So this dude, Victim 1, is all of these handovers and money he's claiming is to Robinson. How do we know that Big U even knew this was happening? If it did happen. And that's something that the lawyers are going to be arguing in court. Look for that during the trial, that he's going to say, how do we know that these payments actually did happen? And how do we know that Big U knew that these payments were happening? On October 21st, 2022, defendant Henley chastised Victim 1 because an acquaintance of Victim 1 had used defendant Henley's name and the stature of the Big U enterprise to increase his reputation in the community. Overt Act number 95. On October 21st, 2022, defendant Henley demanded that Victim 1 pay defendant Henley for Victim 1's acquaintance using defendant Henley's name and the stature of the Big U enterprise to increase his reputation in the community. Overt Act number 96. On October 21st, 2022, when Victim 1 asked how to get his acquaintance to pay for using defendant Henley's name and the stature of the Big U enterprise to increase his reputation in the community, defendant Henley suggested that Victim 1 tie up the acquaintance to get the money. Overt Act number 97. On October 22nd, 2022, to intimidate Victim 1, defendant Robinson told victim one that defendants Henley and Robinson would be attending an after party at a club that victim one was promoting, and that a pat down is out because defendant Henley would be in attendance, implying that defendant Henley was armed. Overt Act number 98 on November 3rd, 2022, on an intercepted call discussing victim one. Defendant Henley, now they saying this is on a wiretap. Henley told defendant Robinson that victim one wasted our name and they needed to fix that motherfucker up and get our money. So this is about a show that they did business with this dude again. See, this is proof that they're still doing business at this point. Put together events, clubs. They have the flyers on the internet. So it's going to be kind of hard to get into the intricacies of their business relationship because it's going to be his word against Big U's word, his word against Robinson's word. Overt Act number 100. On November 10th, 2022, defendant Robinson told victim one not to answer victim one's phone if defendant Henley called victim one because defendant Henley was demanding $5,000 from victim one. Overt Act number 101 on December 1st, 2022, victim one paid defendant Robinson a $2,000 extortion payment. Right? On December 1st, 2022, defendant Robinson told victim one that defendant Robinson was taking 25 to 50% of the payments from victim one, depending on how much the extortion payment was. Overt Act number 103 on December 1st, 2022, to intimidate victim one, defendant Robinson told victim one that defendant Henley accused defendant Robinson of getting soft with victim one and that defendant Henley was going to fuck up victim one. Overt Act 104 on December 7, 2022, defendant Henley told victim one that he owed defendant Henley a lot of money and to bring defendant Henley $2,000 a week. Overt Act number 105 on February 7, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley told defendant Robinson that he was going to break victim's jaw. So they got Big U on the phone telling Robinson, man, you going soft on this nigga. Man, I'm going to break that nigga jaw. Right? Overt Act 106 on February 14, 2023, on an intercepted call as part of the extortion scheme, defendant Robinson told defendant Henley that defendant Robinson told Jew Boy that he owed the Big U Enterprise money, that they would allow a payment plan, but if he did not pay, they were going to shut this motherfucker down. Overt Act number 107 on February 15, 2023, victim one paid defendant Robinson a $500 extortion payment. Overt Act 108, March 29, 2023, victim paid defendant Robinson a $1,500 extortion payment. Overt Act 109 on March 29, 2023, defendant Robinson told victim one that defendant Robinson was only going to give $1,000 of the $1,500 extortion payment to defendant Henley. Overt Act number 110 on April 11, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley and Blanton discussed an individual. Okay, this is a wiretap. Henley and Blanton discussed an individual whom the Big U Enterprises was planning to rob in the near future. Overt Act number 111 on April 17, 2023, on an intercepted call as part of the extortion scheme, defendant Henley directed an individual to deliver a message to another marijuana dispensary owner that defendant Henley said fuck him and that he fucked with the wrong guy. C. Defendants Henley, Robinson, and Martin and others extorted victim number 2 through actual and threatened force, violence, fear, and intimidation. Victim number 2. Overt Act number 112 on December 2nd, 2021. Victim 2 was hosting defendant Henley's birthday party at an adult entertainment club in Los Angeles, for which victim 2 was a promoter. Overt Act number 113 on December 2nd, 2021. Defendant Henley demanded a $30,000 extortion payment for victim 2 hosting defendant Henley's birthday party. Overt Act number 114 on December 2nd, 2021. Defendant Henley threatened to have 5,006 destroy victim 2's business, and that if we got to tear that motherfucker up, we going to tear it up. So be ready for that. Be ready for that. Bring me my money. Right? Overt Act number 115 on December 2nd, 2021. Defendant Henley further threatened victim 2's business if victim 2 did not pay. Threatening, I'll tear that bitch up. It won't be a club there no more. Overt Act number 116 on December 2nd, 2021. Defendants Robinson and Martin and others known and unknown to the grand jury, including members of the Rolling 60s, confronted victim 2 at his business and extorted $30,000 from him. Overt Act number 117. After defendants Henley, Robinson, and Martin extorted $30,000 from victim 2, victim 1 and defendant Robinson discussed how defendant Martin transformed that night and how they took all that shit. 3. Defendant Henley paid to transport women from Los Angeles to Las Vegas for prostitution. Now, besides the murder, this got to be the second weakest shit that these people are charging in this indictment. I mean, people trick on females, fly them out to fuck on them, period. You know what I'm saying? If these girls working that day and I'm horny, me and my niggas trying to fuck some bitches, hey, what y'all need? Some gas money, flight money, whatever y'all need, don't trip, but just know we trying to fuck, so don't come playing no games. Or if you bleeding, you can stay at home. You know what I'm saying? And that seems to be what they're trying to accuse and push into human trafficking, which is a serious crime. Like, you could get like 15 years for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, Scandalous Los Angeles is a shit. Oh, yeah. Let me send this to him real quick. We're going to take a small interval. This is a lot of reading, and we're going to still be going. It's only 4:30. Hopefully, we can finish most of this by 7:30. You know what I'm saying? But I'm finna take a small break. And let me send this to let me email this to my boys. Salute to Street Certified TV, man. You know what I'm saying? Debbie, I guess he finna break down that gun case, right? So I'm gonna send him the stuff that Debbie sent me, you know, and let him have at it. Shout out to Chi-Town. You know what I'm saying? Them boys out there really be politicking the right way. You know what I'm saying? And they channel is very, very conscious of how they run their shit. Let me see if it's, I hope this shit is easy. So where is it? Boom. Boom. Let me see Street. Let me see Street. Damn, let me see what his DM is. I'm gonna do that. In the meantime, in between time, we finna hit y'all with a hit y'all with a video that y'all can watch. You know what I'm saying? Take your break, use the restroom. You know what I'm saying? We definitely coming back with the content. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure we doing it. My phone been blowing up. penitentiary calls. I know my brother, he worried that I'm gonna be indicted next, just based. I don't know what they doing to my internet, but it keep unattaching.
It keeps
Shit
going
is
out. You feel you experiencing the
yeah.
Yael effect?
Listen, bro, this is nasty work. Hold on, we gonna play this light up video. I'm finna get some refreshments, wet my whistle. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get back into the content. You know, this is a lot of reading, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot. But I got y'all. Y'all tell them where they at. Let's get into the Do Sim light up video, man.
One of the hottest lives on YouTube, one of the dopest things on Clubhouse. With Duke Sims the Don, Yael the Kiwe pop star, Damu Kiwe Conversations.
But I know everybody.
Hey, let me hear that second verse.
They talk about, I got a boo boo. Hey, salute. I know a lot of people left, y'all, but this is extensive content and it takes a lot out of a nigga to break all of this shit down. And we still might not be able to break it all down, but we definitely gonna get into it. Stop by one of them pamper houses while in the thing. Durban Poison, what they say? Durban Poison is one of those base strains for cookies. Oh, I'm not hip. Hey, what they talking about? Lemonhead Delight. How is CS2 back a victim in the main streets RICO and the Big U RICO? Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Think about it. That's why he was trying to make snitching cool and keep saying the stress is red. You know what I mean? Right. What y'all niggas know about that fluffy ass Magneto? Luce sends the feds at Adam to get that cease and desist video behind the Luce FaceTime with Big U. Nah, I don't think so, bro. Y'all, they showing they playing 3-card Molly and y'all biting on it. Bad connection, dudes. Yeah, bro, you ain't the only one, dudes. I have to restart my phone as well as my internet is windy as heck out here, bro. I think that's what it was because it's been like a storm the other night, the night before last. Cause let me see, damn, call. All right, let's get to the bottom and see where everybody at. So we back. We ain't. I know they gotta go. Hey, Yael. Is he with me, bro? Maybe he's busy at work. I know he works so hard, man. So let's go to this song real quick. And then after this, we'll get right back into it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who these niggas is, right? But one thing I do know is who we is. How we keep it cracking. Let's go. Hey, Yael, I want them people to know what's going on.
I think they know what's going on, but if they don't, y'all sitting in one of the hottest lives.
All right, all I need is one more song, break, and I got one for y'all. Hey, yo, after this song, we'll get back into the content. Got to take the dogs out, shit, and all kind of other shit, right? So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, share, tell a friend. I'll let y'all know about this nigga Do Sim. Nah. Hit look like, you know what I'm saying? Salute. Bitch, hit your Bremen. So yeah, man, we got some talent over here in the Damu Kiwe conversation, man. Salute to my brother Yael. one of the most talented people I ever met outside of Ty Dolla $ign. He definitely is right there neck and neck with his versatility, his skills, his singing. You know what I'm saying? And we got new music coming, so y'all stay tapped in. It ain't
Appreciate
over.
you, brother. Appreciate you, man. You know I try, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Duke Sims did his thing when he did his
Bitch,
thing.
hit your Bremen. You see
Still
that we
doing
winning.
his thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call y'all back. I'm gonna call y'all back. How you gonna be on a remix to Hit Your Bremen and you ain't for Brim? You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, these niggas is false flagging on the net. All right, so look, we were on defendant Henley paid to transport women from Los Angeles to Las Vegas for prostitution. Overt Act number 118 on November 10th, 2022 on an intercepted call. Defendant Henley called Armani Affelige, a.k.a. Manny, and offered to pay her $1,000 to transport women from LA to Las Vegas to engage in pandering and prostitution. Listen, I'm trying to fuck the bitches. I'll give you $1,000 to cover whatever costs it's going to take to get here, but I need y'all today. Overt Act number 119 is the same day on an intercepted call. Affelige asked defendant Henley how many girls I need to bring, to which defendant Henley responded, "That's on you." Overt Act number 120 on November 10th, same day, on an intercepted call, Affelige told defendant Henley, "I'm about to bag some bitches, guaranteed. You already know I don't play no game." So she said she finna pop and pop at some bitches. Not pay no bitches, pop at some bitches. Bag them. I'ma knock these bras. Overt Act on November 10th, 2022, defendant Henley sent Affelige $1,000 via Zelle to rent a car to transport the women from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. Obviously, if she bringing bitches and contributing that, nigga, he's going to pay for the rental car. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe that they're really charging her with that. They just mad at her for not meeting with them. That's what the fuck that was. Overt Act 122 on November 10th, 2022, through text messages, Affelige sent defendant Henley photographs of the women she was transporting to Vegas. Overt Act 123 on November 18th, 2022, defendant Henley sent Affelige $500 via Zelle for the trip. Yeah, nigga, gas is as high as a motherfucker. Overt Act, food and all of that. You got to cater to these bras. You can't just do them bras like that. Overt Act number 124 on January 5th, 2023, on an intercepted call between defendant Henley, Affelige, and another person. Defendant Henley said, "Remember when I told you I'd be in Vegas? That's her. She gonna make every bitch get naked. Right there, bitch. Get naked. Give my brother some head right now." All right? So, Overt Act number 125 on June 29, 2023, on an intercepted call after learning that law enforcement investigators interviewed Affelige, defendant Henley remarked that he was stressed out because investigators approached a woman with whom he was having sex and talked to her about how defendant Henley was trying to buy girls and be a pimp. Overt Act 126 on June 30th, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said, "Shit, so you going to get me and say my crime is sending girls money for sex. Is that my crime?" Defendant Henley defrauded donors, making charitable contributions to developing options and others purported nonprofits intended to help the community. Overt Act number 127 on August 20th, 2019, donor won a National Basketball Association NBA All-Star player. Wire transfer 20,000. So we need to find out who donor one is. Transferred 20,000 to a Bank of America account number ending in 8350, the Developing Options account that was intended as a charitable donation to Developing Options not to benefit defendant Henley personally. On August 21st, 2019, defendant Henley then wire transferred the entire $20,000 from donor one into defendant Henley's personal bank account for his own personal use. Overt Act number 128. On December 3rd, 2020, donor 2, a music publishing corporation, donated $24,000 via check deposited into the Developing Options 8350 account that was intended to provide football equipment for a local not-for-profit organization, not to benefit defendant Henley personally. On February 4th, 2020, defendant Henley then wire transferred $14,000 of the donation from donor 2 into defendant Henley's personal account for his own personal use. So he took, let me see, they saying 10 bands out of the 24,000. Overt Act number 129. On November 3rd, 2021, Developing Options deposited a $19,000 donation check from donor 3, a content aggregating video blog and co-producer of defendant Henley's Checking In podcast that was intended to support Crenshaw Rams football, a youth football aggregating video blog. Oh, World Star. Let's see who co-produced Checking In podcast. Who co-produced Checking In podcast? That Piff. So you got Doe, you got Danny Cotton, and Cal KP Riley, KD Dat Piff. I wonder if Cal Riley is still the connection at datpiff.com or something. We could definitely use that to promote this upcoming project. I might have to holler at Doe and them. But, oh, y'all can't even see the damn paperwork. My bad. Let me get back into it. So, okay, Checking In podcast that was intended to support Crenshaw Rams football, a youth football team that Developing Options purportedly operated, not to benefit Henley personally. On November 4th, 2021, defendant Henley then wire transferred $15,000 of donor 3's donation into Henley's account, Henley's personal bank account for his own personal use. Overt Act number 130. On March 21st, 2022, donor 4, a nonprofit organization whose goal was to revitalize South LA, donated $10,000 to the Developing Options 8350 account intended to fund a meal program, not to benefit defendant Henley personally. On March 28, 2022, defendant Henley then wire transferred the entire $10,000 from donor 4 into defendant Henley's personal bank account for his own personal use. Overt Act number 131. On September 21st, 2022, Developing Option deposited a $20,000 check from donor 5, a former NBA most valuable player that was intended to support Crenshaw Rams football, not to benefit defendant Henley personally. Between September 26, 2022 and October 7, 2022, defendant Henley then transferred $13,000 from donor 5 donation to his personal bank account for his own personal use. So they saying he got sent $20,000 from an NBA MVP, and he kept $13,000. Well, he put $13,000 in his own bank account. I can't say he kept it because he might have just been working out his own bank account. Peter Pay Paul type shit. Overt Act number 132 on November 8th, 2022, Donor 6, a production company, wire transferred a $100,000 donation to the Developing Option 8350 account that was intended to support Crenshaw Rams football, not to benefit defendant Henley personally, between November 10th, 2022 and December 1st, 2022. Defendant Henley then wire transferred $36,400 of Donor 6 donation into defendant Henley's personal account, right? Personal bank account for his own personal use. I think they're going to have to prove that it was for his own personal use. He could have put it in his own bank account and still utilize it to take care of those kids that's staying with him at his house, or half the fucking football team and all kind of other shit. So that's an element of that crime, that they're alleged crime, that they're going to really have a problem with proving. But they're alleging it. Overt Act number 133 on December 13, 2022, Developing Options deposited a $50,000 check from Donor 7, a nonprofit donor-advised fund that disperses charitable donations from individuals and companies directly to nonprofit organizations on behalf of a multinational music company that was intended to pay the direct program costs and expenses of operating Developing Options, social justice programs and initiatives, not to benefit defendant Henley personally. Between December 19, 2022 and January 3rd, 2023, defendant Henley then transferred $32,500 of Donor 7's donation into defendant Henley's personal account for his own personal use. Defendants Henley and Martin aided a Big U enterprise associate and Developing Options employee in submitting a fraudulent loan application, right? So, Overt Act 134 on January 2nd, 2023, on an intercepted call, Tiffany Schranker Hines, a licensed loan officer for a mortgage lending business, called defendant Henley to discuss a failed loan application submitted by Blantone, an associate of the Big U Enterprise and an employee of Developing Options. Overt Act number 135. On January 2nd, 2023, on an intercepted call, Hines instructed defendant Henley to put him on a salary and then increase it just for the time being, because we know that he can afford the mortgage. It's just the documentation. Overt number 136. On January 13, 2023, defendants Henley and Martin and others known and unknown to the grand jury, in order to benefit Big U Enterprise associate Blantone and to assist him in obtaining a loan, falsely increased Blantone's reported income from Developing Options, stating that Blantone had non-employee compensation for the 2023 calendar year of approximately $6,500. Overt Act number 137. On January 16, 2023, Blantone submitted a residential loan application, falsely claiming that he had monthly income of $8,000 from Developing Options, as Hines had instructed defendant Henley to do in order to fraudulently obtain the loan. Overt Act number 138. On January 16, 2023, Hines submitted Blantone's application for underwriting while failing to disclose her plan with defendants Henley and Martin that Blantone's reported income was artificially being increased on the loan application documents in order to fraudulently obtain the loan, and would be decreased after the loan was obtained. Right? So this one is nasty work. And we're going to end that here. We got a video I want to get into. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy Scandalous Los Angeles. People have been really speculating a lot on what's going on with Luce Cannon, whether Luce Cannon is in jail or nothing. But we will get into the defendant Henley defrauded the Small Business Administration of monies for a pandemic relief fund. We will get into that later. But we got something from Scandalous Los Angeles TV. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna get into that real quick. All right. Let's see what we got. While y'all speculating, it's today me and Scandalous called to find out where Luce Cannon was at. I had already been to the to Pahrump, Nevada, to the transit facility that they have there, right? So I already know how sweet that spot is. You know what I'm saying? Like they got PlayStations and big TVs in there, cable and all kind of other stuff, right? So I knew how easy it would be to put everybody's who's talking about, oh, he's out on the streets, oh, he's already in witness protection. I'm not saying he ain't ratting. He been ratting before he went to jail. We're not saying that. What we saying is that he's in Pahrump, Nevada. You know what I'm saying? He's at a what you call it. And today we called and got verification of that. You know what I'm saying? And we finna go ahead and play this. Let's get into this. Shut up.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where rumors have been circulating online suggesting that Luce Cannon isn't in custody. Given this, we decided to look into it ourselves. The news of him not being in jail didn't surprise me, because we can all see the needs due diligence. The first thing we did was check the federal inmate search online. When we looked up Big U and Brick, it showed that they both were in custody. However, when I searched for Lucy, there was no record of him. Even though there was no information popping up when I typed his name into the search bar, we still couldn't be completely sure. So, there was only one thing left to do: call the facility where he was supposedly being held.
Nevada Southern. Hey, hello. I'm trying to, before he's transferred, he's up for transfer, but I want to make sure he hasn't transferred yet before I set up the visiting. Could you let me know whether or not he's still in that facility? What's his last name? Williams. Tremaine Williams. Tremaine Ashley Williams. Yep, he is still here. Visitation days are Thursday and Friday from 12 to 5:30, Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 4:30. Okay, so Thursday and Friday is what time? 12 to 5:30. Okay, and then the weekends you said Saturday and Sunday? 9 to 4:30. 9 to 4:30. Okay, yes, is there any particular rules that I need to see, Tremaine? Like as far as, do I need to make sure I'm on the visiting list? Is there any problem? Okay. Yeah, right, there's none of that. All you have to have when you come here is a valid identification. It doesn't have to be just a driver's license. It could be a passport. It could be a state ID from another state. It could be, you know what I mean? As long as it's valid, you're good to go. You can't wear shorts in here. You can't wear open-toed shoes in here. You have to have regular shoes on and long pants. Visitation is for 1 hour once a week. You can't, or Thursday or Friday or Saturday, you can't visit again until Sunday. Okay, so I see what you said. So it's either one day, Thursday or Friday, and Monday, Saturday or Sunday. No. It's either one day, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and then the week starts over again on Sunday. So if you want,
You can visit on Saturday and you can visit on Sunday because it's the week's break right there.
Right. I see exactly what you're saying. The last thing, right? They told me that the feds were the ones that had picked my brother up, and they put him in that facility. But when I went on the Federal Bureau of Prison website, FBOP.gov, it wasn't showing his name and location.
Yeah, it's not going to because he's in U.S. Marshals custody. So he's in transit. This is a transit facility. So basically, he's not staying here. He's just traveling through here. And while he's in U.S. Marshals custody, you're not going to be able to find him.
Wait. This is the place I seen on YouTube. They were talking about. It was a federal transit facility. They had like the PlayStations and oh yeah, this is like Club Fed type place.
Yeah, Club Fed, exactly. But yeah, we're considered what the U.S. Marshals call the Western Hub of the United States. So basically, anybody that's moving on the West Coast of the United States comes through us, but nobody stays here.
Right. No one's permanently housed there. All right,
no,
well, listen, man. Well, thank you for your assistance and the information. And I'll be
However you book, first check Kayak to find great deals and filter out flights you maybe don't want, like ones with layovers.
Los Angeles TV.
Damu, Kiwe,
my brother,
conversations. Man. Hey, so you mean to tell me this goofball is in a holding facility this long
today?
Huh?
So while everybody.
Deuce, your stuff breaking up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but
okay. You want me to read that super chat real quick? Yeah, I can see you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Drew V with the $20 super chat. Keep providing that great knowledge for the growth of all our people. Blessings to all. My brother Drew V, appreciate the $20 super chat. Anything and everything that is given to the Damu Kiwe conversation is highly appreciated. Blessings to you, your family, and your tribe. Salute.
Oh, no, definitely salute, man. We definitely appreciate it. Drew V, man, anything that y'all donate is appreciated. Charleston White got him. So salute and thanks for supporting. Facts, Starsky and Hutch. Thank you, bro. Salute. Yeah, he about to go where Big U and Brick is in a second. That's when he gonna realize shit really real. I don't know if he's gonna go to MDCLA. That dude is implicated Big U for one. He's gonna be looking to stay away from those dudes, and he's working. He's been working. So with him being working, they might hide him out in Santa Ana, which is another, like they call it the cheese factory, right? They might hide him out in Santa Ana. They can send his ass all the way to Kern County Jail because they have a housing deal, a contract where they house federal inmates on certain places, as well as San Bernardino County Jail, CDC, which is what they call one of the buildings. You got Glen Helen. What's the other one out there in San Bernardino? IE, CDC, Glen Helen, Adelantos, and then it's one more, bro. I can't remember, bro. I'm a LA nigga, you know what I'm saying? But CDC has a couple different modules where they hold them, you know what I'm saying? But for those who been saying he ain't in jail, just speculating, bro, this is what separates us and our journalistic skills from the competition, because we go that little bit further to do research before we speak on shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is just an ignorant, speculative asshole. And you know what happens when you make assumptions? You make an ass out of you and me. You know what I'm saying? So me and Scanless called today. We called to Pahrump, Nevada, and it turns out he's still locked up in Pahrump, Nevada, which is a Fed transit spot. It's sweet as hell. You know what I'm saying? I went through that mug. when I got out this time, I got paroled from Kern Valley State Prison, New Delano, B Yard. From B Yard, I was picked up by the U.S. Marshals. They took me to Kern County. I was at Kern County for maybe a couple days, 3-4 days. They take me from there to Las Vegas, from Kern County, California, to transit to Las Vegas. I get to Las Vegas. We go on back roads to Pahrump, Nevada. I got there and sweet, right? So, you know, it's a lot different than everywhere else that you go. If that's you with the phone pick, salute to the chat. But look, we gonna get into this. Rash have to keep separate. No, you ain't no PC in the feds, bro. You I don't know where you been, but there is no PC in the feds. Now they'll hide you out at camps, lows, mediums, where the they said, no, take your tough ass back out there. So yeah, ain't no PC in the feds, bro. Now you can go hide in a hole. Where you go, it's gonna be hell to pay. It's real niggas everywhere, and they know what's going on. Yeah, they're definitely gonna be hell to pay. Yeah, he gotta have some weird shit going on. Afternoon chat. You and Scandalous TV is a beast. Hey man, listen, bro. That's why y'all here, and we appreciate the support. Sounds better than FTC Oklahoma. Y'all been through Oklahoma too. You know, Oklahoma is, but when I got to Oklahoma, they kept me in the hole. Salute to the panel in chat. And Atlanta was cool. You know what I'm saying? The transit is USP Atlanta got like a transit part where the people in transit stop by there. They took me there before I went to Talladega, Alabama, opening up the special management unit, the SMOOTH program. Vegas got some nice-ass facilities with nice-ass niggas. I did a jolt up there. Thank you for the support. Deuce, you cutting out. I know. I didn't know that that's so rats going jail to jail. No PC in the feds. That's even better. Exactly. But look, we knocked out this live early. We got halfway through the indictment. Tomorrow, I'll try to knock out the other half, or I might even pre-record it just to read it or whatever, so that y'all understand all of the allegations made against Big U. Keep in mind, allegations are just that. You know what I'm saying? You're innocent until things may be perceived or appear in one way, but you gotta understand that these facts have not survived the crux of cross-examination to decipher what is the truth and what is over-exaggerated fluff. That's why you have trials for. That's why you have motions to dismiss. Some of this evidence might have been illegally gained, and at the same time, with all of these informants coercing each other, being around each other, video recording audio of each other while the feds are recording, kind of contaminates investigations. So don't count Big U out. He a fighter. He's definitely going to fight, as will everybody else on this indictment, except for the rats. You know what I'm saying? That's what the rats do. You know what I'm saying? Thought when in transit, no access to nothing, diesel therapy. Keep it going till that boy pay for his police work. Salute. Oh, salute. Yeah, we read this super chat, brother. Thanks for asking. You want me to read it again? Hold on, let me go. You know what I'm saying? Drew V. Keep providing that great knowledge for the growth of all our people. Blessings to all. That's the one you was talking about? Because we had already read it. Fam West, salute to everybody.